Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Holly Township Parks and Recreation Commission special meeting agenda. Today is March 11th, 2026. And with that, I'll turn it over to, first call the meeting to order, and then ask everyone to please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Next, I'll ask our Secretary, Madam Secretary, to please call roll.
Okay. Commissioner Wright.
Here.
Commissioner Carl.
Here.
Commissioner DeSessa.
Here.
Commissioner Hutchins.
Commissioner Hutchins has asked to be excused.
And Commissioner Earl, I'm here.
Okay. So
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. I was not aware. Can we hear a motion to please excuse Commissioner Hutchins from this meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Carl. Is there a support?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you, everyone. So his absence has been excused. Next, we have approval of the agenda or changes to the agenda. Are there any?
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Number 4 is the minutes, to approve the minutes.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm looking at these glasses and I'm thinking I'm seeing it backwards. Thank you so much for the correction.
welcome.
Thank you, sir. So let's go back to item number 4. These glasses got the wrong ones. So first, under item number 4, motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting of February 11th, 2026. Do I hear a motion, please?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes of the special meeting of February 11, 2026.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a support?
I'll support.
Supported by Commissioner Earl. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, minutes for the special meeting of February 11th, 2026 have been approved. So moving on next to approval of the agenda or changes to the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as submitted, or does anyone have any amendments?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as submitted for the special meeting of March 11, 2026.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. Is there a support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Carl. Are there any comments or questions? I should have asked that the first time. Any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion to approve the agenda as submitted has been approved. So moving on to public comment. So members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson for the items listed on the agenda only. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. The commission may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. Prior to addressing the commission, members of the public are asked to state their name, street name, and town. Seeing no members of the public, I will move on. Okay. Thank you. So we're going to move on now to item number 7, old business. And what we're looking for here is for a motion to postpone the development of the strategic action plan and continue the development of the community survey. Thank you, Madam Director or Manager for doing this, because I wasn't sure how we were going to do this. So may I start by just simply talking about this a little, and then we can proceed. So originally, I know that everyone here, and thank you everybody, thank you so much for agreeing to do a strategic action plan. It's so important. It's not the same as a master plan, but I'm not going to go there, as they say. However, I've heard from some of you, and even from members of the public, that have expressed an interest in perhaps maybe doing a survey first, to hear from the public, what are you looking for? What do we want? And then we, in turn, as their representatives, implement and include them in our strategic action plan. So I did not want to do one without the other, and I think that made a lot of sense, to receive comment. Now, I know surveys are difficult. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're not difficult. They're good, they're easy, they're simple. But they're difficult in the sense to getting the public interested in the timing and things of that nature. And it will require some staff time, because they will come to the staff, to our director here, to our manager. And we will have to start tallying them and figuring out what are some of the things that they're looking for. And thanks to our manager here, our director, she included the survey here. Thank you, thank you. So you can see, this is a survey that we did for the 5-year master plan. And I believe that Commissioner Wright actually came up with an even better survey, I think, that asks. Go
Madam
ahead.
Chair, I'm sorry,
Yes.
point of information. I'm one of the ones who came up with this.
Is this you?
Yeah, this
Oh
is-
my
This
goodness.
is mine.
This is
Um,
yours.
just-
Okay.
Just for transparency, this survey was never put out to the public. So
Excellent.
this was just a draft for the commission to talk about.
Okay, excellent, okay, and the reason I said, because it says community input survey, 5-year master plan, so I'm thinking, oh, we're not there yet. But okay, so no, this is the survey that was developed by Commissioner Wright. And I know that we've looked at it, but let me ask you this, and then I will stop talking and hear from you all. First, do you concur with this motion? Do you think we should do this survey first? Or should we just continue as we were going to do tonight, and that is to develop develop a strategic plan as we see fit? So with that, I'm gonna open up to our commissioners, and Commissioner Carl, looks like you want to say something? No?
I certainly agree that we need to conduct a survey. Has this been changed from last
It
meeting?
has not.
Then I thought we talked about how do we condense it. There was concern about the length. I looked at it and I said, we got a lot of questions on disc golf. I think we should talk about beach. So I'm expanding it. My idea would be, but I think this is absolutely necessary. We need to hear what the public wants of us.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Yes, Commissioner Earl?
I agree with that. I feel like it's a good, I've only looked at it as, trying to see what, everything that was included, things like that. But I have not taken it as a resident to see how long it would take. I think that might be a nice thing to add if we are gonna put it out, to say the survey will take, 3 to 5 minutes, or whatever we decide to get that to. But I like the idea of having the survey first. And I feel like the strategic plan will come together even easier. It will make more sense to everyone. So reinforce all the good things about the strategic plan.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's what I agree.
Commissioner Wright?
Yeah, I agree that we need to conduct a survey first. I also agree that the survey needs to be adjusted to match the mission statement. In addition to questions regarding the beach. Just going through it again, I noticed that there's no questions about the beach on there, and that's a pretty important part of Holly Township parks. So I think we need to adjust the survey, which can be done relatively quickly, and taking into account length and ease of completion. I think we can get this done relatively quick.
Okay.
So.
I would like to say one thing. I was
Yes.
on a call yesterday with the Citizen Advisory Work Group and MPART, and they were discussing surveys. And they actually said that the state has a terrible time getting response from people, even when they're offering them free water testing and things like that. So what they are thinking of doing is actually going more to an electronic kind of thing, that you can actually go to an app and, you know, be able to fill it out right on your phone and send it right off. So that it would cut down on, you know, the paper and, you know, having to mail it or bring it in or anything like that. So I'm just throwing that out there, that that is one thing that they're going. The other thing they were gonna try to do was more of like a postcard kind of thing, but that wouldn't necessarily fit this situation.
Correct.
But, the QR code and the
Oh, yeah.
electronic was kind of more the technology that they were going with.
And I totally agree. That's what I was planning on doing anyway. I was planning to convert it into a digital format, and utilizing our Microsoft programs that we purchased earlier. We're able to do that through there. We can definitely have paper copies for those citizens who don't utilize technology, but I think the majority of the responses that we will get are going to come via the electronic
I
medium.
agree. I think it's gonna take a little work from us as well as commissioners, where I would ask us to maybe attend some of the other elected meetings, like the village council, the library board, planning commission, you know, all those various, where we could all maybe take turns and present this during public comment and let them know that this is coming, that, you know, we want to hear from you, and, you know, we would like some input before we begin developing this strategic action plan, because we want to make sure that we are adhering to the needs of the community and not just what we think, you know, should happen. Although we were elected for that reason. I'm not going to, you know, push that aside. That is important. But I think after hearing a couple of folks not too long ago, they said, hey, we heard you talk about a survey. We kind of like that idea, and we'd like to hear from you all. Or from us. Go ahead.
Commissioner Wright, were you feeling like you would distribute it through Facebook, through social media?
Yeah, what I was envisioning was that we would utilize Microsoft Forms, and basically I would put the survey in electronic format, and then it would create a link, and that link would be able to be shared via Facebook, via email, however we decide to do, and then that way they can just click on that link, take them right to the form, and fill it out, and we'll get responses nearly instantaneously.
Okay.
So as soon as they hit submit.
Okay.
So.
Any other comments?
I have one
Commissioner
more
Hall?
question. Did they speak to the length of time that they were putting when the survey is out until the survey is closed? Did they speak to that at all, what their experience has been?
Theirs is more of putting it out to residents to actually get them to commit to getting a water test.
Oh,
So their length of time is much
Really
shorter.
short, yeah, I've
than
done those
what,
before.
we would be
Very
looking
short.
at probably.
So what is our time frame that we would leave the survey open?
I'd say a month.
Yeah, like the 3 or
Yeah,
4
it would
weeks?
have to be a little bit longer, maybe give them, you know, a little bit of time, because I've conducted many surveys, and if we can get at least 5% of the population to do it, that's a good idea. So that's why it's going to take a lot of our time as commissioners to go up to these entities, speak, and I'll ask our director as well, our manager as well, to go out there and do some discussions, and let anywhere the public is, we need to be there and to advise them of the importance of this survey. And so,
I think it would be a good idea, though, to do it before summer, so that we have that time to collate it and get the results. And then we can work on the strategic plan during the summer.
yep, I agree. I mean, the strategic action plan, it's not something that we have to rush. That's why we're doing these 30 minutes at a time, so that we can take, you know, and review it. I was just thrilled when we came up with the mission statement quickly, thanks to Commissioner Connell. I was excited. I was elated, actually. I still am, because it's a step progressive. It's a step forward. It's a step to again, let the public know what do we stand for and why are we here. Anyways, so I'm going to step down. But any other comments before we look at this motion?
You know, if we're looking to push this, I'm trying to think of places of business where people sit and have time, would be coffee shops, the donut shop in Holly and the one downtown. A couple meetings back, I talked about maybe a focus group where we have representatives of various age
Invite them,
groups.
have a meeting.
Mothers with children and people that we know play disc golf. And then, you know, we literally can compound that info to, you know, upload the projections on population and kind of get a query of, you know, what people are thinking about disc golf, what do they think about the beach, you know, I think that way you're going to get responses. Now, we're not going to get big numbers because we're going to have a controlled audience, but it's something to go by.
Commissioner Earl?
I mean, I think that would be a great idea in theory. I just, in our experience here, it doesn't feel like we get very much response physically here for any of the events. We do get some people coming in, but, I mean, and that's to bring people in during an event.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a great idea. Would you be like going to like downtown, like you're saying, like checking out one of the coffee?
Well, I'm just thinking of the time that, you know, people might say, oh, I'm not doing it, but they're sitting there, they're drinking coffee, and some of my friends at the donut shop play a crossword puzzle while they're chatting. I mean, so they have the time, that's what I'm saying. But just to correct a statement, a focus group is managed by a company kind of, and they bring in the people. You tell them what we want, what we're doing.
So we would pay a group to do it?
Yes, there's a fee. Yeah, it's not like come on in and take a survey. But, you know, I wouldn't, I guess, recommend to come on in because you just said, what do you give them?
Well,
You
I
know,
wasn't saying
movie
we should give them
tickets,
anything. I'm
and-
saying that we have offered like events here, and to get people to even just come to our events
Yeah.
isn't easy. So, but I do think that if there are people down at the donut shop, why not drop them off? Why not drop them off at the donut shop? Why not drop them off at the coffee shop if they're there and they're doing
You read my mind.
informally? They can just do it on their own. Those are great hotspots. It feels like of community involvement. You know.
The only one thing that I have a question about on that, though, is you don't want to make it labor intensive for the business. You know, I mean, if you're saying, you know, take the survey and deliver it to the parks or something like that, as opposed to, you know,
Leave it
can
at-
you keep track of our surveys and then, you know, we'll come and pick them up or, you know, something like that. I think
That's
businesses
a good
might have a
point. Didn't
challenge
think
about
about,
that.
yeah, you're right. Yeah,
We go to the churches and we pass them out.
yeah. And we pick them up afterwards, right? That's why,
Sunday
that's,
mornings, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Along with the offertory plate here.
well,
It does seem like, though, if we're gonna do it with social media, and you were saying that the forum kind of shows it in real time, we would be able to know in a few weeks what our, excuse me, what our return has been, and then maybe proceed with, you know, a couple of us going out together on a Saturday morning to a couple of places and just talking.
and going to meetings, finding out when these meetings are.
Yeah. I mean, each of us can kind of find our own niche, maybe, you know, like.
Like at the coffee shop, at the Battle Alley Coffee Shop. I know that there's people doing puzzles. I know they don't want to interrupt us with the puzzle time, but, you know, I know they talk about everything, so that'd be cool. Or we see just people that meet from other committees or the DDA. I'd love to hear from the DDA.
Does the coffee shop downtown there, the one that you're talking about, is that where they have the, like the get-together? I want to say it's like a senior get-together, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think they have that there already.
They have there, and then also at the Holly Donut Shop. The Holly Donut Shop, if you go there early in the morning, there are just regulars that come and they drink
Yeah.
coffee and, you know, get a donut and just enjoy the time. So,
I think I heard somebody say that McDonald's has like a group too,
Yeah.
mornings.
They used to.
Okay, so some things came into my head as I was listening to y'all. So obviously, we have to come up with a time. We say at least a month to gather information, or 6 weeks, whichever one. Are we going to place boundaries as to who can respond? And by that I mean, must they be village or township residents? Or do we also want to hear from people from the outside?
I think he has that on here, right? You have
Who
both
are you?
Holly resident and Holly Township resident and
But
live
must they
outside.
be, in order to reply to this is what I'm asking? to
I
put-
know, but
Mhm.
I think.
It
you
says
could
on
even
there?
put-
The very first question,
Yeah.
what best describes you, Holly Township resident, including the village of Holly, or I live outside Holly Township?
Oh,
but
I
visits
see.
the township parks.
Yeah, I think that's a key, that they be local. If you're from outside, you're not gonna know much have much familiarity with
Well, you'd be
our services.
surprised.
Well,
You'd
I'm
be
not really sure,
surprised.
because,
Yeah.
I mean, we do get people
We get a
from
lot of
outside the
people.
area.
Mhm.
We even had
You do?
a school group from like Rochester, the 4-H group who came here.
Mm-hmm.
We've had people, a Montessori group. They had some children who came. So
Oh, yeah, I
I
remember
think
that.
there are people, and at the beach, definitely. And the other thing is I just heard that Heron Lake at Groveland, or is it Groveland or Holly Rec, is going to be closed. They're going to shut it down completely
Oh,
this summer.
wow.
They're taking the Woe Zone and moving it to Waterford.
Is that the one you see from Dixie? It's got the stuff
I
in the
think
water?
it is. I think it is.
Heron.
Yeah, they're doing some heavy-duty maintenance. I think fixing a dam or something.
Beach might be.
So I'm looking at the clock to make sure that we stay within time, because our meeting starts in about 6 minutes, I think. And so I guess I'm hearing from you all that while it's important for us to hear from the village and township residents, that it wouldn't hurt to hear from people from the outside as well, as long as they tell, we'll look at it. I guess it doesn't hurt to hear from
Because
them.
even the disc golf, is that,
It's
are all those
considerably
tournaments?
many outside the
Outside,
area.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, because all the survey says is, who are you? Describe yourself, where you come from. And for us, while our priority will be, not probably, but will be what our township and village folks say, but we will also at least, adhere and listen to what some of the outside people would want. Is there an issue with that, or should we just limit it or restrict it to just outside people? Inside people.
I think the way it's worded by it saying outside Holly Township, but, I mean, that, anything is outside of Holly Township if it's,
I know. Do you want to work on that one a little bit more, or,
I can if needed.
I would say I think that'd be good. Here we go.
What would you change it to?
I live outside but visit township parks. Oh, I see. Yeah, is it important for us to know where they come from? Is my question. Does it, because this one doesn't say, it just says I live outside anywhere. Is it important for us to know where they come from?
Do you mean like putting a line like your city or
A
something like that?
city or an organization? Is that, because again, I know that it's time consuming, and I know,
I don't know what additional information that would give us, what that would change.
it doesn't matter to me. yeah.
Not to me, I don't think.
I mean, I
Okay.
feel like if we had like direct mailers going out or something like that, then we would need that information, but given what I feel like this is just really to focus on this. It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay, I agree.
I still feel that our funds are created from village and township. That's what our response should be to them. So we get some people out here. I wish you were all from Holly and Township, but, again, I think the answers that we generate, I hope, they're from township and village, because once again, that's who we're gonna develop.
That's
this plan
who
for.
we we report to. That is,
If we get some from outside, okay, but I think we gotta focus on the importance of Holly and Village.
Okay. Go
But just to
ahead.
clarify, so are you saying that how it's worded now is not what you like?
Well,
Because how else would we know if they were in or out?
well, the distribution, I think, can somewhat be controlled. Do we wanna focus on energy on going outside our territory?
I
We
think,
haven't, though. We were talking about social media, and that can go everywhere, you know, because anybody who pulls up the Holly Township parks,
But you
Yeah.
can't,
You can't
limit
target
the
it, okay.
distribution of, Facebook ads to a certain geographic area,
You
Okay.
can,
yes. Not to say that you're not going to get those,
Yeah.
stragglers,
The clock.
Yeah.
but the majority of it would be within that geographic boundary.
perfect.
okay, so then let's work kind of sort of on that a little bit if we can, Commissioner Wright. But you're absolutely right. The taxpayers are the township and the village.
That's who we
And
respond
that's
to.
that's who we
Yeah.
report to, and we should respond to. That's critical. So let's work on that a little bit, but know that when we get responses, that we're going to pay attention more to the village and to the township, okay? And we'll hear from the others, or no, am I not saying that right?
I think what you meant to say, we're gonna take more looking,
Okay.
more at the township residents,
Priority.
including the village.
In the village.
Than outside.
Exactly. Okay, I concur with that. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate that. Yes, let us, I think that's precise. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we're running out of time. The only other thing, so number one, we have to vote on this motion so that we can do it, but the other thing that we have not addressed yet, okay, so we're gonna do a survey first. We're gonna have to meet again to figure out who's gonna go where, and then we have to put something in there about, not have to, but we want to put something in there about the beach, because there's very little said on the beach. So Commissioner, I'm gonna ask you to maybe work with Commissioner Wright and see what kind of questions you have, because you're more, anybody here that wants to put something on the beach. Madam Manager, you too, if you have anything, please. And then let's work on adding that to the survey. And if there's anywhere, anyhow, any way that we can shorten this a little bit, because time is of the essence and people don't like to reply to long surveys, I would appreciate it. So we've got 2 minutes left, or 1 minute left. Let's vote on this item first, please. So is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay,
I'll motion that we postpone the development of the strategic action plan and continue with the development of the community survey.
okay. All right. Is there support for this motion?
I support.
Okay. Supported by Commissioner Earl. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So Commissioners, just to be clear, we're going to do the survey, but I'd like to see if we can continue the 6 o'clock meetings so that we can, until we get something done, okay? So that we can finish this. But from now on, the strategic action plan will be, at least for now, to discuss the survey, okay? All right? Okay? Okay, so with that, I think we're at 6:30, and I'm gonna change hats now. Okay, so let's go back to the agenda. I know I'm running late, I tried to make it within 6:30. So the motion has been approved, and I lost my place. Okay, here it is. So next is item number 8, and that is public comment. Members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson for any items concerning Holly Township Parks and Recreation. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. The commission may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by majority vote. Prior to addressing the commission, members of the public are asked to state their name, street name, and town. I see no one here at the public, so we will move on for this item. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting at 6:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Okay, ready. Okay, good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to the Holly Township Parks and Recreation. This is our regular meeting, our regular monthly meeting, and today is March 11th, 2026. And with that, I will call our meeting to order. And next, I will ask everyone to please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Next is approval of minutes, and I would like to ask if anyone, please make a motion to approve the minutes of
Point of
February.
order,
Madam
just,
Chair.
we need to do the roll call.
I promise you, these glasses are turning me upside down here. I'm looking at this. Here we go. Okay, the roll call, please. Madam Secretary.
Okay, Wright,
Here.
Carl,
Here.
Hutchins,
Here.
DeSessa,
Here.
Earl, here. We have a forum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. And thank you all. I apologize, but these glasses are really not the ones I'd hoped to use, but anyway.
Do you want me to go get the other?
Get the other ones? No, that's okay. I can read, but it just jumps up all over the place. But I'm okay. Thank you, though. Thank you. Okay, so next is approval of minutes. And this is the motion to approve the minutes of February 11th, 2026. Do I hear a motion, please?
Make the motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of, on February 11th, 2026.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a support?
I second.
Supported by Commissioner Carl. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none. Everyone, please say aye to approve the minutes of February 11th, 2026. Please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay.
Nay.
One nay from Commissioner Hutchins. Okay. But we do, okay, so we do have 4-1, so I guess the minutes did pass as approved. Okay. Thank you.
One comment? if
Yes,
I
sir.
may?
Mhm.
I couldn't download it. It's an HTTP. I don't know what that is.
That is the format.
I don't know if you're looking at me,
I-
because I know.
Well, I asked Mary about that, and she said it came from you, so that's why I'm looking.
I did it off of our website, off of our software here on the computer.
Yeah, when Manager Blanchard sent that email out, it did come up as an invalid format for both the meeting minutes and one other document. I can't remember which one.
The first two.
The first
Yeah.
two.
Yep,
The first two.
But yeah, that, I had the same issue. I tried to email you, however, I think we missed each other, so.
I did speak with the manager, and she said she had the actual minutes, so I was okay with that, and I got a chance to review them, so I'm okay with that. Yeah. But yes, it's a format. It is a Word format that, in which you're able to send documents to them. But there was two of them, and they were the minutes.
One was the special minutes and the other one was the
The regular minutes. Mhm.
I'll look at it.
If it's a
I'm
format,
not sure
what
either.
do I need to do to get it? I mean, how do we fix it?
No.
It was an error in the system. The format should have came through either a PDF file or a Word document. It came through as a HTML file, which is typically used for websites. I'm not quite sure why that happened, but it's an error.
So it's fixable.
Yes.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, it
Perfect.
is. Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, we have to take a look at that again. Okay. So moving on to item 5, approval of the agenda or changes to the agenda. So is there a motion to approve the agenda as submitted? Are there any amendments?
I would like to add one.
Okay.
I have information on, from Aquaweed. It pertains to treating the beach, joining the Bush Lake Homeowners Association, which provides a discount, but treating the beach for weeds within the beach swim area.
Okay. Is there a support for this motion? Amendment, I should say?
Support?
Okay, so let me make sure I have the motion correct. So you would like to make a motion to continue, Commissioner Crowe?
It's a motion to
To approve?
join the
join?
Bush Lake Homeowners Association in their treatment process for weeds, invasive weeds. It's a reduced price if we do. We've never done it. We have emergence of weeds within the swim area.
So the motion, though, is to join Bush Lake? Is that what our
Yes,
motion
to
is?
treat the beach for
For
invasive weeds.
invasive weeds?
Yes.
Invasive weeds.
Motion to join, okay.
So there's a motion to join Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds. Okay. Okay, so is there, and it's supported by Commissioner Hutchins.
Gotcha.
Do I hear, so do you hear discussion on this before we move further on this item? I have some questions about this. I think this is, I'd like more information on this before we do this.
Wouldn't that be one, after we put it on the agenda, I'm
Well-
not saying we do it now, but
Okay.
when we get to new business,
When we get to new business?
I'll be
Okay.
happy to give you more information.
Okay, all right then, if that's the case, okay, I'm okay. You're gonna give us more information. All right then. In the future, commissioners, please, I know that our manager sends out emails to us, asking us for items to be placed on the agenda. Please, 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 let's do our best to get those to her on a timely basis. I know that she has a difficult time putting the agenda sometimes together, because we got a lot of work. So please, please, and I understand time is of the essence, but I would prefer, and I think this one's okay, but whenever we have a critical item, then let's see if we can get these to her, so that, because the key thing is when we put this out and we let people know that this agenda is here, if there's any big changes, anybody who's out there may want to have some input on this, and they won't know.
So I'm just curious, just to understand, so is this motion not to join right now, then? This is a motion to just discuss joining?
No, we need to act on this. There's 3 treatments over the summer. One is mid-April, so it's coming up. So if we want to get involved and get a discount to treat the weeds that are growing within the swim area,
So we're
we
voting
need to
today?
act on this.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I understood, because you
Good
just said you
question.
were, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Oh,
Thank
so-
you, Commissioner Carl.
So there's, okay, so now you, okay, I'm going to go ahead and add this item with you all, since there's a second in support, and there's a lot of questions, and so we will address them at that point. Okay.
I'm curious, if motion was approved, where's the interference?
So no, it's not
And why?
interference, it's not an interference, sir, it's just that there's money involved. I don't know if the staff has had a chance to take a look at this, and then bring it to us. That's why I was talking about, if you have an item that you want to place on the agenda, that's okay, and sometimes we can amend. But on issues that have financial impact, that we've never done before, or maybe we have, I don't know, or the manager has not had a chance to take a look at closely, then I just want her to give us some more insight before we take any action, any formal action. That's all.
Okay.
So, but there is a motion and there is support, so that, so now we have to vote on whether or not we want to amend the agenda to include this item for for consideration, because it is asking us to take an action, and that is, I'm going to read it over again. So it's a motion to join Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds
Within the Holly Township beach.
within Holly Township Beach. Okay.
I appreciate you clarifying that, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so there's been a motion and there is a support to amend the agenda to include this item. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So now, we did make this amendment, and I'm gonna ask our vice chair to make sure I'm doing this correctly. So we've just amended, we added this item. Do we need to take another vote?
We
Sorry,
do, we
not-
need to accept the amended agenda.
Okay, I thought so too. Okay. So now, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the agenda as amended. And we just did the one item. Is there a motion to do this, to approve the agenda as amended? Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Carl. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, so motion has passed. Now, these glasses are going up and down, here we go. Item number 6, public comment. Members of the public can address the commission once recognized by the chairperson for the items listed on this agenda only. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. The commission may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by majority vote. Prior to addressing the commission, members of the public are asked to state their name, street name, and town. I see no members of the public, so with that, I will ask that we move on, we proceed, okay? All right, so now, item number 7, old business. Okay, so there is a motion here on item number 7A, motion to proceed with the Easter egg hunt event at a cost not to exceed $800. Is there a motion to approve this for discussion purposes? So remember, everyone, we have to make a motion to approve and support, and then we can discuss, and then we vote on the motion, okay? So is there a motion to proceed with the Easter egg hunt at a cost not to exceed $800? So for discussion purposes, I will make that motion, since I see no one. Is there a support?
Support.
Okay, supported by Commissioner Wright. Thank you, sir. All right, now we're going to discuss. So commission members, what say you regarding this item? Commissioner Earl?
I just did a quick search online, and it looks like there's a helicopter drop in Holly, and then there's also a church doing something. One's in March, one's in April, early April. They've been advertised. The one with the helicopter drop takes reservations, I think, and then the other ones, but they're both open to everyone in the Holly area. And then there's several in Ortonville, Fenton,
Yeah, everywhere.
Linden. I just did a quick look. I didn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes to do it, and that's what I found, so.
Yeah, I see your point. You know, I know this is something that we've done in the past. I know Commissioner Hutchins can attest. It was a big event back in those days, but now I'm not so sure. Plus, I'm concerned about the use of some of the items we've had for health reasons, and it's going to be very costly for us to do this. maybe perhaps we can concentrate on another event that might be a little bit more beneficial to our commission. I'm not so sure that, based on the fact that there's Easter egg hunt events all over us already, that we're going to get a lot of people. And we're certainly not going to have an airdrop like some other people are going to do. And then the cost of materials are very expensive. I think we did how many eggs, Commissioner Hudson? 1,000 or something like that, was it?
It's more than that.
More than that?
6.
6,000? Holy schmoly. Well, for 200 eggs, it costs, oh my God, not even gonna go there. Because we did look at that, and the costs were a little prohibitive at this time.
I think there's another concern is the
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
Because we did talk about this last month, and then I didn't feel we had gotten a full approval. And so I did reach out by email, and I only heard from one commissioner specifically. And that was not really an overwhelmingly positive response. And so I thought not to go forward with it.
I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry. I think, that's a very good
Valid.
thing, to be honest,
saw it. Yeah,
about
she showed
what
it
your
to me.
concerns
Yeah.
were. And then, I didn't feel right about going forward with it, with considering the cost and the time at that point.
Any other comments on this item?
We do a great Halloween, not so spooky.
I like it too.
And I think if we're going to do something, let's reach for the stars. And this timing, the eggs aren't in good shape. We'd have to purchase new ones. And given the fact that the competition is out there with some heroes, I'd wish we would concentrate on home runs, and I don't think this is it.
Okay. I think that's very succinct, very good. Okay, any other comments? Okay, hearing none. So the motion on the table is to proceed with the Easter egg hunt event at a cost not to exceed $800. All those in favor, please say aye. None. All those opposed, please say nay or aye. Please say aye.
Nay.
Is it nay? Nay? Nay. Okay, please say nay.
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 Okay. Commissioner Hutchins?
You already said nay.
Okay.
I didn't hear you there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. All right, so it looks like, Madam Manager, it's a no. So this motion has failed. Okay. Okay, so moving on to item number B. And this is the motion to amend adopted FY 25-26 budget as follows. And before I go and read this, because this is so key, you do recall that at our last meeting, we did concur to add or to approve the addition of the part-time work for the center. And it was to end at the end of the fiscal year in June, okay? During this time, if we want to continue this, we will have to look at it in our budget. But for now, we're just sticking within our budget, all right? And before I read this item, because this is so key and this is important, and we may want to add this, please know that if this motion passes, this does not change our overall budget. Our overall budget stays the same, and I know some of you I've heard are concerned about our fund balance. It will not touch our fund balance. It does not take any money from there. We stay within our budget. However, we adjust our budget from a line item that we think we can use, take these funds from in order to make this item whole. Okay? Does that make sense to you all? All right. Now, I know that our manager met with our accountant, and she gave an estimate of about 5,000. Now, it could be less. It depends on the hours, and that's where the manager comes in. all right? But again, we don't want to go back and forth, so the 5,000 gives us a little bit of a range, all right?
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, no.
Simply said,
Mhm.
if we've got a budget of $245,000,
Mhm.
and we're going to be utilizing 5,000 that wasn't in our budget before, 'cause now we do have to pay out, because Michigan Works paid for it. Doesn't that come out of our budget?
It does, but it's within our budget. It's not outside. We're making adjustments
Okay,
within.
I understand now what you're
That's why I
saying.
wanted to make sure that, I want to make sure that you understand our vote before I read this, okay? I want to make sure you understand it, because I know several of you are very concerned about our fund balance, and we don't want that to ever get to a point where we could be, slowly but surely, cutting into it. And this commission and previous commissions have done a good job in making sure that we don't touch our fund balance, okay? Does that make sense now? Okay, at least not now. Someday we may have to, but not now. All right, so thank you for that clarification. I just want to make sure before I read this, and so that the public out there understands what I'm about to say. So the motion, what I'm looking for is for a motion to amend the adopted fiscal year 2025-2026 budget as follows. To increase the park salaries line item, which is item number 208-702, by $5,000. So right now, this is going to go from 40,000, which is what the budget says, the original budget, to 45,000. That's what it's going to now say. So when we get our reports, you will see a line item that says amended, and you will see the increase of 45,000. This amendment will address further expenses for one part-time nature center staff person until June 30th, 2026. Funding for this line item will be made by reducing Park 2 equipment line item 208-984 by 5,000, and will amend the budget for this line item from 29,000 to 24,000. Now, we have very few line items that have, a significant number. This is under capital, and before you ask, I think you're going to ask, what did we budget for on this item? Okay, go ahead, Commissioner.
No, I have a problem with the motion itself.
Okay.
Part 2 equipment capital line item is not 208-984. It is 971.
971, okay.
971, as evidenced by the report from the accountant. Under Part 2 equipment capital, the account number is 971.
And then that is my mistake. I read it as 984,
So
but
it's-
it's corrected.
That's what it is on the agenda.
Okay,
So,
correct then. I stand corrected, so it's 971. Okay,
971.
so let's make sure that we do this. Thank you, Commissioner. I did look, and I swear to you, it said 984.
So,
But-
I'm sorry, just to understand it, is the 971
It should,
part
it should,
salary, or is that the capital line item?
971 is the Part 2 equipment capital.
Okay, great, thank you.
I misread. I apologize.
There's just two numbers there, I just wanted to get which one was corrected. Thank you.
So I misread, but it should read 971. Thank you for that correction, Commissioner. By 5,000, and will amend the budget for this line item from 29,000 to 24,000. Okay? So we're going to reduce this item. And I thought what he was going to ask, because I could swear when I looked at this, that was the number that I saw. Now, this is the budget that we set aside for the purchase of a vehicle, a truck, for this organization. And so we're going to reduce that line item, and instead of 29, it'll now be 24,000. Okay? And also correction, and I will take the blame for this one, because I read these numbers and I could have sworn I saw that number. But the number for the Part 2 equipment capital line item should read 208-971. Okay? Okay, thank you, So in order so that we can discuss this item further, is there a motion to support this item?
I'll make the motion to adopt, or I'm sorry, to amend the budget to increase the part salary line item of 208,208,702 by 5,000, putting it from 40,000 to 45,000 and subtracting the 5,000 from the Part 2 equipment capital line item ending in 971 by 5,000, taking it from 29,000 to 24,000.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a support?
Support?
Supported by Commissioner Carl. Okay, now because this is a financial expense, I'm going to ask our secretary to please call the roll.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Just a matter of procedure. We need to ask for discussion.
I'm sorry, we had discussed a little bit already, so I know that we're running out of time, and I'm anxious because everybody wants me to hurry up with the minutes, so.
I understand that, but we just gotta make sure we do
You're
it
absolutely
correct.
right, sir. You are absolutely right. Thank you. Okay, so the motion has been made to approve, to approve this item, and it has been supported. Motion was made by Commissioner Wright and supported by Commissioner Carl. Now, item for discussion. Are there any discussion on this matter? Okay. Commissioner?
I've thought long and hard on this. I love the person that this involves. But then I go back and I think about the stewards that we are and the responsibility we have to this budget. And I'm having difficulty in the whole purpose of this to extend to June. And I think back, what are other companies that had Michigan Works employees? How would they attack this? If they were an LLC, sole proprietor, it's their money. It's like, I'm going to throw a Christmas party and here's your bonus. We're not that. We are entrusted with tax dollars by the public. And I just don't think it's proper. I wish there was a slush fund that this could come out of. But given the fact that we've got line items that pertain to park business that we're responsible for, I'm having difficulty seeing this through.
Okay. I know I have some comment to that, but I'd like to hear from the commission first. So are there any other comments or concerns? Or Madam Manager, your thoughts on this?
My biggest thought is
Go ahead.
timing-wise, how we're gonna fill space here at the Nature Center to actually have somebody here. I already spoke to Tom and Brenda about the fact that they would not be able to work here at the same time going forward, so that there was more hours covered here at the Nature Center. I don't think, we're not tied into a certain number of hours necessarily. We can, limit it even to 10 hours or something like that if you prefer. He has been working up to 19 hours with Michigan Works, but we're not, obligated to do that. That's my biggest concern is actually trying to find enough staff to cover here at the Nature Center.
Any other comments? I do have some comments because obviously I work with the manager a little closer on the budget and your concern. So first, for the public, so that you know, Michigan Works grant is gone. I mean, it is not going to be funded. And
Well, we don't know that.
I thought we said that. I
No,
thought they said.
We don't, they don't know.
Okay.
Past June.
Oh, past
Up
June.
to June. The reason that Tom is having to leave at this point is because he has worked for Michigan Works for 4 years. And 4 years here at
Thank
the
you.
Nature Center.
Okay.
And so that his position is ending right now.
Okay.
But I did check with Val, who is the site lead for Michigan Works, And unfortunately, just as when we were going that month-to-month basis, they're not getting any direction from the federal or whoever is, funding
state,
them, that there's any kind of extension or anything at this point.
Okay.
But she said as soon as she does know anything, she would certainly let us and the staff know. But as of right now, the only reason that Michigan Works, that Tom is not working with them, is because he has basically aged out of the program.
Okay. So now, having said that, and thank you for that clarification as well, this is not a forever program anyways for us. This is just something that is to assist governments, to help us fund. So they're hoping that we will hire these individuals eventually and that they become part of our budget. And so that they in turn can bring in other folks to participate in the program, and it works. So it helps, it has helped us for many years to do this. I know that we need someone here at the center. Tom does above and beyond with his work. Thank God, he does an amazing job. As you can see, does windows, he, vacuums, oh my goodness, trash, everything. And feeds the bird. He does a lot. And he'll do some minor corrections and things like that and helps the staff whenever possible. So I know we need somebody. And that's why in this upcoming budget, we're gonna have to look at it very closely. So we are, I believe that we've done a good job in managing the budget, especially even in the past when they found this program, that we're able to do this. But now this program may or may not be funded come July 1st, so we don't know. And if it is, then at that time, hopefully we can again be granted another individual, and we can move forward. But as of right now, we don't know, and we're not going to get another person right now. So his time is over, and so now we need to decide whether or not we want to extend this for a little further.
I guess I should say too, and I was gonna bring it up later, based on one of the new business items. But the reason that I think that we cannot actually search for Michigan Works more employees at this point is because of the fact that we don't know if the program is gonna continue past June. And
I
I
said
don't
that.
think it's fair to invite people to come here and start working and then tell them, oh, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to be here after June.
That's why we're going to have to look at this budget carefully if we're going to continue to do this in next year. We're going to have to look at this.
For this, though, from my opinion, I think that this would support the manager. It would, provide people being on site, not to mention the maintenance and all the things that are getting done, but just, it supports you. And so I, trust that you would be in charge of those hours, and that's, for that reason alone, I would support that.
And I guess for me, and this is something that's very serious, but this individual is so dedicated to this organization. I know that's, you know this and you see this, but he's willing to continue to do this, and there could be an impact on his own personal. But again, I've asked him to be careful with that, because I don't want his livelihood to be hurt in any way, because he is under people who follow in these programs. They have a certain income guidelines and things of that nature. So as of right now, he doesn't think that there'll be that much of a difference. At least he's hoping, but we shall see.
Yeah, and let me add, now that Manager Blanchard has clarified the situation is different than what I assumed, it does put a different reflection on it, so, for me.
Okay, very good. Okay, are there any other comments or questions? All right. Hearing none. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Wright,
Aye.
Carl,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
DeSessa,
Yes.
Earl, yes. That motion is passed.
Is there anyone, I know it seems like it's unanimous, but I will say just for the record, are there any who oppose? Please say nay. Hearing none, as Madam Secretary announced, this motion is passed. It is unanimous, so thank you. Okay, so the next one is item number 7C, motion to amend and approve the policies and procedure document, including method of how a special meeting may be called. Are you on?
No, that's why I moved my microphone over.
Okay.
So it will capture his voice as well.
Okay,
Battery
it's not working?
died.
Okay. Oh. I can move mine to a little closer. All right. Okay, so moving back, item number 7C, motion to amend and approve the policies and procedure document, including method of how a special meeting may be called. So before I move this on, you all know that you do have a copy in your packet of what those procedures are. And I'm going to turn it over to our manager just to elaborate a little further on the item regarding how a special meeting may be called. And then we can, just for explanation, and then we'll get the motion, and then, wait a minute, I'm doing this wrong. Is there a motion to approve item number 7C?
I make that motion to amend and approve the policy and procedure document, including a method on how a special meeting may be called.
Okay. Is there support?
I support.
Okay, thank you. Supported by Commissioner Carl. Okay, now, discussion. And now, I will turn it over to our manager so she can elaborate a little further on method of how a special meeting may be called. So you all have this in your packet, okay? And it shows how we do our operations here as a commission, all right? And I have a couple of other items that I would like to include, but for now, is there anybody, or having special visitors here?
We do.
We
Oh,
do.
no.
We've got some deer who have joined us.
Oh, my goodness. That's what I like about this center. Okay, so, Madam Manager, can you please explain what, including method of how a special meeting may be called?
I will say that it was Commissioner Hutchins who brought this to my attention. I have been under the understanding, and I think some other commissioners were under the understanding, that a special meeting, workshop, could be called by the chairperson or two park commissioners. And Commissioner Hutchins pointed out that actually item D actually states two park commissioners are required to call a special meeting, a workshop, or to cancel a regularly scheduled meeting due to lack of business. It does not include the part about the chairperson being able to call that. So I think Commissioner Hutchins was looking for clarification, is that correct, on whether to keep it like this or to change it?
Yes, I'm going to back up a little history on this item. There's two reasons why this was called by, this movement is called by two people. It's a democracy. That's a 5-board member back in the day. And if you use 3 people, it violates the Open Meetings Act. So if I'm going to discuss with you and somebody else and myself, and we make a decision on something of canceling a meeting, it goes against the Open Meetings Act. That's number one reason. Number two reason is, previously, the chair called the meetings, which is That's why it was never changed. That leaves the control of the meetings left up to one person. So it's like the old saying goes, it takes two. It takes two to tango, it takes two to do anything else. So that's the clarification on the two reasons why that is stipulated in that to call or anything else. So two board members, without creating a Open Meetings Act violation, because we're a 5-person board right now. We were 7 at one time, but we reduced it. We're not in violation of the Open Meetings Act. So this has stood way before I was ever started here. And that's why I always, in the last year, I discussed the 5-year plan, study it, know it. Rules and procedures, study it, know it.
We're glad you did that. Thank you, Commissioner Hutchins. Study in number 3, I love that.
Yeah.
So that was the reasoning why it was left up to 2 members of the board.
All right, thank you.
It's more of a democracy than anything else. That's my history on that one.
Okay. So, Commissioner Wright, you look like you want to say something.
It's neither here nor there. I agree that it needs to be corrected in the policy and procedures. However, if you look at the next item down, it'd be 2E. All meetings will be conducted in accordance with parliamentary procedure as outlined by Robert's Rule of Order. According to Robert's Rule of Order, it does require the chair or 2 commissioners to call a special meeting. So it's really, I mean, it should be corrected, but it could really be struck, because if we're following Robert's Rules of Order, which it does state in the policies, that's already a given, because that's part of the Robert's Rules of Order.
Thank you, Commissioner, because that's kind of what I was looking at as well. It's like we're contradictory. Now, Commissioner Hutchins, I understand, I understand. Personally, I will never call a meeting just because. I think anybody who serves as chair would be reminded of that by any one of us, because obviously it's expensive to call meetings, and we have such limited dollars. So I don't see how the chair is completely in charge of this. But there are times, and I will tell you, and I'm very careful when something like this happens, that as chair, sometimes I do need to, or the chair needs to call a special meeting.
This doesn't exclude you, does it? You're a commissioner.
It doesn't exclude me, but as chair, it does take that away, in that I now need 2 people instead of 1.
No, I agree with Commissioner Hutchins that 3 people colluding to form a special meeting is a violation of open meeting.
But I'm not asking for 3 people to do that. So, under the Robert's Rule of Order, I as chair, I don't collude with anyone. I just call the meeting, okay? Because it's a special meeting, it's important, it's an emergency, we need to meet.
So you're saying only 1 person can call a special meeting?
No, what I'm saying that,
Okay.
Actually, Commissioner Wright, can you repeat what the Robert's Rule of Order
Yes.
is?
According to Robert's Rule of Order, the persons who can call a special meeting include the chair by itself or 2 commissioners on the board.
right.
Okay.
So,
That's what is required to call a special meeting.
right. So 2 people
Right.
can call the meeting, not just me, okay? 2 people, but as the chair, in the
You have
event.
the ability to call one yourself.
Right. Without colluding, as you say, with anyone.
Well,
Is
maybe
that clarification?
wrong word, but obviously to call a meeting, you got to discuss business, which is a violation of open meetings,
No,
of 3 people.
no.
It's not?
No. And at least the way I don't understand what you're saying. If the chair, I say but the chair calls the meeting, then you all have to come together, okay, to discuss. I by myself cannot make decisions. I just call the emergency meeting. That's all I'm doing, to discuss, and then you all make a decision. But I have no authority to make any decisions.
does that make sense? In the Roberts, we're not making anything up, it doesn't seem like, it just says we're going by the Roberts rule of,
Yeah.
of order, so I'm not sure what the question is.
So
What's your question?
Right.
Do you have a question, Commissioner Hutchins? It looks like you do.
Yes.
Okay.
Under Robert's rules, I've been voiced on this Robert's rules twice, once by the UAW, once by Madonna College. I went to seminars on Robert's rules. There's two divisions of Robert's Rules of Order. Regular Robert's Rules of Order and Robert's Rules for a small board. We're a small board. How does that fall under Robert's Rules
I've
of
never heard of
Order?
that.
It's, because like I said, 2E specifically says parliamentary procedure as outlined by Robert's Rules of Order.
Which one, small board or large board?
It does not
Doesn't
state in
matter.
the policy of procedures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the document itself needs to be clarified. I agree.
Yes.
But I
And
mean,
we usually went by Robert's Rules of Order. That's why I learned going to school for Robert's Rules of Order. Somebody in the audience can shut this meeting down if they know how to run Robert's Rules of Order. That's why the book's so thick. It's gone with the wind. So we never really went by Robert's Rules of Order. We went by standard procedure, parliamentary rule. And I don't think anybody in the village really throws Robert's Rules in on their meetings.
well, I mean,
No.
it's the township, but I'm not saying that they throw it around or they don't throw it around, or we throw it around or we don't throw it around. I thought what was on the agenda was to discuss how a special meeting may be called. We have established that by looking at, like you suggested, going through D and E of the meetings. I feel like we've discussed that, right? I mean, is there more?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, I don't know if there's,
I would say that we do need to identify a process that we're going to abide by, and I like the fact that we say Robert's Rule of Order. I think that's important. With all due respect, Commissioner Hutchins, I have never heard of doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, sir, okay? It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. You're probably correct, but I have never heard of one for a small board and one for a large board. It's only one. I know that as a matter of fact, I recently asked the manager to please get me a copy of the book, an updated book, and then also we got to get started on that so it's easy to read and easy to follow. And we didn't do it today because we're in a hurry, but we did get that to make sure. Now, I would like for us to follow the Robert's Rule of Order. That's what we've been doing, and and it's been here on our procedures for a long, long time. I think item number D, for clarification purposes, needs to be deleted, because I think item E clearly allows us that either the chair, in the event of an emergency, and this is what the Robert Rules of Order says, can call a meeting, whereas the commission can also call a meeting if you get two members of the commission. So it's not only me that can call. If you get two members that wish to call a special meeting, you can do so. And the only reason that I would call a meeting, and this is just me personally as the chair right now, who knows what the future chairs would do, but you only call a special meeting if there is something important, if there's urgent. You don't just call a special meeting to talk about X, Y, Z. That's why it's called special meeting. You have something urgent, something that's demanding, you must address ASAP.
Therefore, the motion asks to amend. Can someone read the amended form of how you want the policy to read?
Okay, so we worked on this, thank you for that request for clarification. And the reason I said because if somebody wanted to amend this, which I'm gonna recommend that we amend these rules by deleting item D from the minutes, because it's conflicting. They're conflicting statements.
But you could also amend it by saying the chairperson or two park commissioners are required to call, and then maybe add to that line per Robert's Rules of Order.
We could do that, but I think the Robert's Rules of Order people would just have to look it up, but it doesn't matter either way, either way. I think Robert's Rules of Order would be sufficient, but again, I don't mind adding that on there to
Well,
be
the only thing that
clear.
I wonder about is not everybody is versed in Robert's Rules of Order.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually put it in writing as to how it can happen, then that makes it a little bit clearer for the
Is there,
average person.
would that be an issue, Commissioner Wright? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Could we add that statement just to be clear?
Like I said, I see it can be amended to read exactly what Robert states. The chair or two commissioners can call a special meeting under Robert's Rules of Order. It's basically saying the same thing as the next line item. So I understand what Manager Blanchard's saying, that it's nice if it's spelled out, but the next line item is saying that meetings are supposed to be run as per parliamentary procedures, Robert's Rules of Order. So it's the same thing.
Okay. Again, I don't think it would be hard for anybody to look up the Robert's Rules of Order. I would just like to delete item, my rec to amend our procedure by deleting item number D and then just allowing us to work in accordance with the Robert's Rules of Order. That is what I would recommend to the commission, just to be clear. And please know, Commissioner, and Commissioner Hutchins, that the chair, any chair, and myself or anyone that comes after me, should not use this as to be undemocratic in any way. It is only to be addressed for a special event. And I believe even under Robert's Rules of Order, it talks about what a special meeting is.
It does. There's specific instructions stating that the special meeting can only be about what the agenda item is. Nothing can be added, nothing can be, it has to be specifically mentioned in the special meeting agenda what's going to be discussed, and that's it. Nothing, no other action can be taken.
And that's why I'm okay with this, because under the Robert's Rules of Orders, there are specifics. Again, all of us, I don't recommend that you get a copy of the Robert's Rules of Orders. It's been, Commissioner's view. But certainly that's why I have that quick summary. Maybe we should get one for all of us.
One other comment about why we're talking about Robert's Rules of Order. I think if you go in depth in there and find out what the rules are, you'll also find out that, and I might be misspoken about this because it's been a long time, that the chair cannot, they have to ask for a motion. They cannot make a motion as chair, if you look under Robert's Rules of Order. So after you get through Gone with the Wind, let me know how it comes out. There's a lot of different things. If you accept all of Robert's Rules of Order, you have to go by the rules, and they're only that thick.
So I agree with you, sir, but at least I've been, if I'm incorrect, and I will make sure I adhere to that in the future, but I only do a motion or whatever, support a motion or whatever, make a motion myself after not hearing from you all. And I believe, and I've been in many other meetings where I've seen the president or the mayor take that step. It doesn't mean that item is going to be approved or even be considered. As you know, usually the motion is just simply for discussion purposes. I'm going to go ahead and support this motion. And it's not a vote or anything like that. It's just so that we can allow the item to get to the next step. But I will look into that and to see if is there a question? I see your face.
No, I'm just kind of sorting it all out. I'm putting it in the file cabinet to check the balances. Yep.
Okay.
It looked like that,
I'll be
exactly
going-
what it looked like.
Getting my Robert's Rules of Order book out when I find
Let's
it.
check that out. So if the chair cannot make a motion And I said it a couple of times, I will support, make this motion in order so that we can at least discuss, and hopefully if somebody supports it, then we can discuss. But then the vote is taken, and it could be a totally different outcome.
And I also just think, I'm assuming we're talking about going forward and we're not looking back at past
Right.
history of, and trying to, right, we're just talking about going forward.
Correct, going
Yeah,
forward.
that's what I was thinking.
Obviously,
Just checking.
I would like going forward if that's the case. I will no longer support that, do take that step. But I will look at that, I know Commissioner Wright likes to do these things.
I'm gonna talk to one of my UAW presidents to see if he comes down here and shows everybody how you can shut this meeting down within just 2 motions. All you need is a motion and a support for adjournment. Bam. I've been to a lot of union meetings over the years. And-
It seems like it wouldn't be
Do we
very productive.
necessarily want to invite that?
I know, right?
And also, when I was
Yes,
on
we're-
village council, as village president, it was done to me. We came in, paid the bills, and they made a motion to adjourn the meeting. There was a second, vote on the floor, and the council shut the whole meeting down by just that motion. So watch out for Robert's Rules of Order, because it's got teeth, folks.
Right, right.
And there's people that come in here and turn this place upside down and backwards in 5 minutes.
I do think though, and I really have never ever been to a union UAW, but I would imagine that the temperament and the activity in that versus our awesome park here that we're
Yeah.
trying to just get 4-H kids and
Yeah.
people involved. So like having people out there like with teeth kind of sounds counterintuitive to what we're trying to do here at the park.
Just on
But,
the outside,
yeah,
if somebody from the public wants to come in and run this meeting, they can come,
Sure.
if they know Robert's Rules of Order, and just make it hard on us because they don't like us or
right?
whatever else. Robert's Rules of Order is very, if you go to a seminar, you just go, you come out of there and your ears are smoking. You go, I didn't know that.
I'm sure. I mean, I would like for us to either do a seminar regarding the Freedom of Information Act.
Does the Roberts Rules change, or has that been established and it stays the same? It's been and it
Yeah,
stays.
That's the holy grail of the whole meeting stuff, is Robert's Rules of Order.
There are other parliamentary procedures that we could
Yeah.
consider as well. But
Yeah.
the Roberts Rule of Order is.
Consistent, what everybody's used.
Yes, but there are others, because I use them in other communities that I work with, where they follow different. That's one of the first things attorneys always look for when they review us, under what parliamentary procedure do you abide by, because the rules are different. So, anyway, okay, so we will look into that one item, and Commissioner White, I'm staring at you, sir, if you don't mind, if you would follow. I will look
I already
into
have an
it
answer
myself.
for you, madam.
Good, I look so that
Um,
from now on, I'll abide by that.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I did look it up, and, for small boards or committees specified, the chair can make motions, can speak in debate, and can vote for all questions. On the larger committees and larger commissions, they're supposed to remain neutral.
Yes, that's in a large board.
Right.
Or standard board.
Right.
I think they only vote if there's a tie, perhaps, is that it? I'm just putting that out there, I don't know, because I've seen that as well, where there's a tie.
I know that, they're supposed to remain neutral, only votes to break a tie, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that too. So if there's a tie, say, you know, the board is very small, like 3, you have a board of 7 people, then the chair can make a vote to break it. Okay. So I reiterated everything. All right, good to know. Good questions, Commissioner Hutchinson gave. So are there any other items that the commissioners would like to see beside that addressed in our Robert's Rule of Order? Is there anything else that you, that's why
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I apologize,
No.
point of information. The motion that we voted on is specific for the, how a special meeting may be called. Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of. Okay, so that's the only item on the agenda, so that is the only item that we can discuss then. So, so there is a motion, but for clarification purposes then, based on this motion, we have to change it
Actually, the motion says including, which kind of makes it,
Including so that we can add other things? That's what when I was putting this together, the manager and I were putting this together.
what's your thought on that? Yeah.
We wanted I wanted to make sure to give an opportunity to everyone here. So if you had other change that you would like to see, perhaps maybe the right way to do this is to postpone this and then maybe give you all another chance to look at this, or unless, we can always come back and amend this rules and procedures, although I would hesitate to do that. I would recommend that we all look at our rules and procedures. In many places where I worked in the past, a commissioner or a council or whomever, they'll meet at the beginning of the year, especially if they have newly elected officials, and they'll say, these are our rules of order. If you have anything you would like to, discuss, or you'd like to see something corrected or clarified or adjusted, now's the time. And so, we could discuss. But that's why we put including, because at first I had only written that one sentence, but we knew that Commissioner Hutchins was interested in how the special meeting could be called. And now that we've clarified under the Robert's Rules of Order, the mayor can, under certain circumstances, Commissioner, not just because, and no collusion of three people coming together and calling a special meeting.
You mean the chair?
The chair, yeah.
Doesn't have to be voted on?
No, you can just, if I decide there's an item that meets those requirements, it's a special meeting.
That's not what I meant.
Okay, sorry.
Item D, you're asking to amend it.
We're saying motion to amend and approve the policies and procedures document, comma, including method of how a special meeting will be.
I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with D, but I understand we're trying to amend it.
Well, we don't have to.
So let's, I asked for someone to read the amended sentence for our policies and procedures.
So here's where I wanted to leave it open-ended. And apparently I did not do a good job. And that's why I think we may have to rethink this. But the reason I asked the manager to place it in this fashion was so that it gave you all an opportunity to make any changes, including what Commissioner Hutchins had asked, and that was on the calling of special meeting. Does that, you understand what I was trying to do there on this motion?
So the purpose is not to finalize this. It's open that we,
Well,
if
I
any
did
of us
say- I
had
did say
additions.
approve. I did add the word approve, so you could do this if you wanted to. You could amend it. My recommendation for amending would be to eliminate item number D. That is my recommendation, that we eliminate item D because it is redundant, and item E addresses how we call a special meeting. And it's done in accordance with the Robert's Rules of Order,
All right.
okay?
I have something I'd like to add then.
Okay, so before we do that, Commissioner Wright, I turn to you, because I know you read these backwards and forwards. Is there a concern, or would you prefer that we come back to address this matter? Or what would you recommend?
From what I understand, motions, especially motions that are asking for action, as this one is, needs to be specific. They cannot be open-ended. And
That's.
I understand what you were trying to do.
Yes. And so I was hoping to, because I know that many of you when we put this agenda together, want action items and not just discussion items. That's what some of the concerns that you all brought to my attention. And I respect you all, so I do listen carefully because I want to make sure that I proceed as you would all like for me to proceed. So when I wrote this down and put this motion together with the manager, I said, okay, so we can amend and we can approve. And I felt action items on there, that it would allow you at this period of time that you can add amendments. So even though the motion is this, we can change the motion, and the motion would then read something like, motion to amend and approve the policy procedures by making, or by approving and then amending. Does that make sense? So let me go back and read it, I'm sorry. So the
So-
motion would read.
So each individual change needs to be voted on then?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So every time one of you makes a motion to, would like to make a motion to change anything that's on here, we would have to do it individually.
Vote on the amendment.
Yes, on the amendment, because unfortunately, I didn't hear from you guys as to what you wanted to do. The only one we heard from was from Commissioner Hutchins. And, so, because we did bring this to your attention, or I brought it to your attention at the last meeting and said, hey, I want to take a look at this again. Please give us your insight. And I was hoping that maybe perhaps we could do it here and maybe listen to you all on perhaps some other amendments you would like to see done.
So do I understand then that right now we're just gonna vote on the amendment or the approval?
So the way it's gonna read, and a good question, okay, so I know I have a motion by Ray to be supported by Carl, but I'm gonna ask, since we can only do one at a time, and this is the only item that's listed on here, I would not ask that we add additional items on here because the agenda has already
Okay,
been approved,
correct.
so we can't add. So if you wish to add any other changes to this, we have to come back to them at the next meeting and make those adjustments. Okay, is everybody okay with that? Commissioner Wright, I'm just trying to stick within the agenda.
No, I understand. Is it,
So now what I'm gonna add, what I'm gonna ask the maker and the supporter, I'm gonna ask, would you be willing to amend this motion and say, instead, in place, motion to amend the policies and procedures document by eliminating 2D.
Is that a question to all of us,
That
or
is
just
the
the?
question that I'm asking, if you all would be willing to support that motion. If you don't, then we'll have to go with this motion as read, and then we'll have to take a vote on that. Although I don't think that this, with all due respect, I know I was doing my best to put this item on the agenda, but I don't think it addresses, including method of how a special meeting may be called. I'm trying to clarify that by deleting item D. That's what I'm trying to do. Do you understand what I'm trying to do?
I heard, yeah.
I'll support the change in that motion.
Thank you. Commissioner Cox?
And I won't, because I would like to keep item D.
Okay. So, all right, so we have to take a vote, and,
Well, we have to have a second first.
okay, well, I will do the second to support your motion, okay? So since you do not, then I will make that motion.
Okay, so now.
Is that correct? Okay, so now, there being a motion and a support for that motion, is there a discussion on that motion?
I,
You're confused.
We're going this way, right?
Unfortunately, Jared, that's why I recommended that perhaps we may wish to postpone this item and take a look at it at another time, because there is some confusion, and I don't want that. And, so perhaps we could withdraw that motion if everybody agrees to that, and then instead, postpone this item to the next meeting.
I think there's a direct reflection on D, and that's E. because we don't know enough to go by Robert's Rules of Order, and as far as I've ever been here, we didn't go Robert's Rules of Order. So you eliminate E, or it reflects D. So there's two things here that are mutual and connected.
Well, yes, but the motion that's on the
I know.
table.
Yeah.
So the
But-
motion is to eliminate E, okay?
Yeah.
If you disagree with that, you vote.
Yeah.
So that's clear, all right? So that's how you get to your motion. Or your belief and yours too.
But
So we're
if
gonna
we
vote.
eliminate D, we adopt E. And-
It's already there. We're not adopting E, it's already, E is there.
Well,
already.
there was been confusion, clarification, what Robert's Rules says, and I heard that a special meeting can be called solely by the chairman and/or, correct, and/or?
No, or.
Or
Or.
two commissioners. All right? My opposition is D states that a chairman and one other commissioner could call a special meeting, or two commissioners could call a special meeting. My issue would be, I think it's giving too much authority to one single person if we allow just the chairman. I think a check and balance is registered when there's two commissioners. That's my concern, and that's equally stated in D, where E could be controversial
By interpretation.
by
I
interpretation.
think that they are conflicting, those two items are conflicting. And,
But is, just, I'm sorry, just real quick. So I remember Commissioner Hutchins had said that this Robert's Rule of Law in this state has been here forever. It has been like the, what everyone uses as
Well, not-
the
I wouldn't-
bottom line.
I wouldn't state everyone.
Well, that has been the common thing to use. Is that correct? Is that
Well,
more?
if the people are taught how to use this pen and how to write their name. Robert's Rules, like I say, if you've seen the book, it's very impressive. That's why we never adopted it, because if you knew all the
But you-
rules,
But you did adopt it. It's here. It says it's
I
here.
know, but we, even as a board, nobody ever knew what Robert's Rules of Order was, because nobody was trained in it.
But you were.
Yes, I was.
But you were, I don't know, that, it just, I mean, if Robert's Rule of Law, of Order has been a good thing to use for decades and decades, I'm questioning specifically what the issue is. Because if lots of municipalities, if UAW, if all these organizations have used it, it feels like maybe there's something else that we're trying to get at. And I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not sure why at one point, one part you said that this is what the rule is. But now you're saying, but we don't want to do that because of something else. I'm not sure I understand. I'm just trying to understand.
Well, like Commissioner Wright said, there's other ways of parliamentary procedure. And because over the years, this was a small board, and it was ever-changing and moving around. They adopted Robert's Rules of Order, but we never used them. So we just went by standard parliamentary procedure, because it was too invoking. So that's why I say, you could also eliminate E, because we adopted it back then.
I would not ever recommend getting rid of E, because you need to adopt some procedures that can follow. And whether it be Robert's Rule or some other procedure, you should, because just having rules without some sort of support or whatever document that says this is how you run a meeting, and this is the law, I think could be redundant in my personal opinion.
I also need to, I think we all do need to remember that Robert's Rule of Order is not law. It's
Yes.
a suggestion on
Yes.
how to run a meeting.
Right. Okay.
However, it obviously was already adopted because it's in 2E.
You were on the committee.
So I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
went.
you said
we
it was
went
been
by-
there for
baffles me that-
years.
To hear Commissioner Hutchins saying that they don't use it because it's been here. for-
And if it was here
Yeah.
before he was
And we
here,
never
it's
used
been
it,
here a
right.
long time.
Yeah.
And whether it's been used or it hasn't been used, I mean, it is a guideline, and I think that's what we're here to do, it's a guideline. So like, going forward, even in the future, I feel like having a general guideline is, you know, and so Robert's Rule of Order is a guideline that's been accepted by a lot, it sounds like. If it's accepted by the UAW, if it's you were the one that said it was the
Yeah.
UAW, and you went to the other colleges, and, so I mean, it sounds like if you've done that kind of, it's been accepted. I'm just trying to understand why we would eliminate something that is accepted.
Well, we can accept
Universally.
other parliamentary procedures that are more simple and fits our needs. Otherwise, if we're gonna go by Robert's Rules of Order, we're gonna have to be educated on Robert's Rules of Order.
Well, we've been going off of it for decades, it sounds like, so I don't know.
Because nobody knows the rules.
Okay.
Well, I did ask the manager to purchase the copy of the Robert's Rule of Order, and I did ask for a summary as well, so that even when I make rulings and decisions and so forth and so on, that I do my best to follow, okay? Now, we're learning here, everyone, please, let's get that. I guess as Commissioner Earl has says, why are we now so opposed? What is the reasoning as to not using this? It is the concern that, as Commissioner Carl has said, that the chair has this extra power. I've assured you that that is not the case, that even under the Robert's Rule of Order, when the chairperson calls a special meeting, he or she has to abide by the procedures that are set forth under Robert's Rule of Order. And I'm going to read those procedures, but they're specific. And you can only call for one specific item. You can't just call just because, okay? So please, don't worry. The chair will not take over by doing this. I have to have a good reason as to why I'm calling a special meeting. And it's been done in the past.
Well, let me say, my last tenure, we went by 2 commissioners need to call a special meeting. Now, you know, we're trying to change that to solely a chairman can.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, let me clarify that.
Please
Under
do,
the Robert's
'cause-
Rule of Order, either the chair by themselves can call a special meeting, and we have to abide by those rules, or two people from the commission.
The way it could be the chair and one other commission.
Why would the chair and another person do it when the chair can do it by themselves?
Well, that's what we're talking about, the change.
No.
Because I see a lot of confusion in how Robert's Rules is stated. Parliamentary procedure versus Robert's Rules is what I'm hearing.
No.
And my experience in the past tenure is that 2 commissioners. It could be a chair and one other commissioner.
No, the chair can call the meeting by themselves.
You
You
know,
don't need another person.
excuse me,
Go ahead.
we're almost a half an hour on just this issue.
Yeah.
Do we need to just table this
Well,
and
that's
come
what
back
I
to it next
said.
month?
If we need to discuss this item, apparently, you know, we may need a little bit more information because I think there's some other items in the rules of operation that I would like to see amended as well, that I think we need to clarify. For example, and I will bring this up right now, I want to make sure that for security purposes, I've always had an issue when people come before us, and I know we've made that statement where they don't have to give us their personal home address, but I would like it in our rules that say that, not just because we've said it. And it's for security purposes. I was at a council meeting recently, and they asked me for my address, my personal address. I do not wish to give my personal address. And that
Can
is
we
a-
save that for the next meeting, maybe?
Well, we could, apparently, if this is with the commission, so there's a lot more discussion here, and there's clarification, and then this way, it'll give you a chance, Commissioner, to also take a look at it carefully, because I want you to look at this carefully, sir, and I want you to, read the Robert's Rule of Order. There's a summary, you can get all kinds of things. So,
Good, let's
so
table.
now, but unfortunately, there are
Madam Chair.
motions on the table right now.
Point of order. I will withdraw my motion to approve this motion and move to postpone this item for another meeting.
Is there a support?
Support.
So there is a motion made by Commissioner Wright to postpone this item at the next meeting. And I'm going to ask the commission to please read these carefully and tell the manager, not me, tell the manager what amendments you would like to see so that we can incorporate them, okay? So please. And there was a motion by Commissioner Wright and supported by Commissioner Carl. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all. I know that it was a long conversation, but I think it's an important one, and we do need to address it. Okay, moving right on to item number 7, new business. So here's the motion to approve prescribed burn of remnant prairie area at the back of Sorensen Park and the prairie restoration area by the ball fields. And for that, I'm going to go to my manager.
Thank you. So the reason that I am bringing this before you is because we all know that SISMA is on pause for this year, so they're not going to do any activity here in Sorensen Park. The one thing that I was concerned about was the fact that some of these issues with the burn, if we did not do follow-up treatment, that it might erase some of the activity that they had already spent good money for here at the park. And so I did reach out to the SISMA team, and I heard back from Keegan Schulberg, and he did say that he thought the best bang for the buck for Sorensen and Holly Township Parks and Recreation would be to do a second or another prescribed burn back in the area of the remnant prairie. I did also ask when I was speaking to David Mendel with PlantWise that I might ask the board to consider burning around the baseball fields. The reason is because Commissioner Carl in the past has expressed concern about the area being untidy and that type of thing. I thought that if we did the burn, we might be able to seed more plants that are flowering, and so that they would maybe have the opportunity to seed and make it look more park-like or manicured. So I did ask them to submit a bid. This is their bid, and the cost comes out to $6,250 for the 23.5 acre unit that would be more like the remnant prairie, which had been burned previously. And then the $225 would be for the half acre unit surrounding the ball fields. And there is a map, actually a picture at the back showing that. The other thing I would like to point out is that PlantWise has included the things that they would cover, and that they're including significant amount of insurance with that. At the very last item that they list is the insurance that they have. They also would be taking care of all of the permits through the local fire chief that would be needed. And they'd be working with us on creating the burn plan. The time to do this is in the spring. And so that's why I thought it was important, if we were going to consider this, to do it this month, so they can get us on their schedule. I had hoped that, as Keegan had said, Davisburg is having a burn, and that we might be able to get on the same schedule, so it would possibly decrease our cost. But apparently, David Mendel did not include that part of it, so I don't know that both of them can be done at the same day.
Okay.
I guess another concern that I was wondering about is the fact that I think one of the reasons that SISMA went on pause is because of the fact that they're getting more requests from other communities to use their free services. And in the past, we've had winter mowing, we've had the burns. As you can see by this, amount, it's significant amount of money that they have invested in this park. And I think by possibly doing this burn on our own would show them that we are committed to doing the best ecologically for this park, and that this might put us in a better standing with them going forward.
So at the time that the manager was working on this item, I don't believe we had this bid yet, is that correct?
That's correct.
So we did not have the number as to how much this was gonna cost. But we wanted to bring this to your attention. I have a few questions, but before I can do that, is there a motion, and a motion to approve the prescribed burn of remnant prairie area at the back of Sorensen Park and the prairie restoration area by the ball fields. And this is also at Sorensen Park. I have a lot of questions, but in order for
I'll
us to
make
do
that
that.
motion
Okay.
to approve the prescribed burn of the remnant prairie area at the back of Sorensen Park and the prairie restoration area by the ball field.
Is,
Support.
okay, supported by Commissioner Hutchins. Thank you both. All right. Questions or discussion? Comments from the commission? Okay,
I have a question.
please, Commissioner Carl.
Have anyone done a professional assessment of the results of the prior burn? Pros, cons, have the weeds come back, the invasive come back? What has been the results of that?
Well, the one thing I can tell you is I went, it would have been in the fall, late fall. Maya Gonzalez with SISMA had come back to Sorensen. We took a tour together, and she took photos of the area, and she said that she thought it was doing well as far as not having the woody invasives coming back to that prairie area. There are probably some areas where they could do some spot treatment if needed. I don't think our staff is probably as capable of doing that spot treatment. They're not, licensed or permitted or certified. I don't know how you would want to put it, but they don't have the ability, I don't think, to use the type of chemicals that would be used for that. But as far as Maya, when we were walking, she was very satisfied with that, and she went back and then reported that to the whole SISMA team.
Okay. I remember when we did the nature walk together,
The tour?
the tour, I saw several trees that seemed to be quite overburned, and that concerned me. It almost result of a forest fire. Now, what impact does that have on the future of that tree?
I don't know.
How do they
But
control
I think it
that?
depends
Yeah.
on the tree,
Yeah.
and it probably depends on, how severe it was. But I think that they try to make, the accommodations for it. I could certainly check with David Mendel on that if you'd like.
Did it have an effect on the tree that you can see? Besides, is the tree still alive?
I don't know.
It was my statement, and I didn't mark it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I did,
But-
I just was
but
curious, like,
it-
if there was any dying
There
trees.
was, it
I
went
remember
up a
he
good
made
6,
that remark,
7, 8
yeah.
feet, and it's like, whoa.
Right.
That was a big
Okay.
burn.
There was a wind there.
Yeah.
I do remember you making burn work, sir. I do. I remember. And you noticing the height of the burn.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But I couldn't tell you where that
No,
tree
me,
is
me-
right now.
I can see it in my mind, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to go out there. Yeah.
The
Okay.
other thing that's kind of surprising to me, because when I have witnessed burns, most of them go really low along the
Oh.
ground.
Yeah, I noticed that, you know, he's got experienced burn boss, but I mean, is that the person that you'd be talking to?
I've been just
David?
in contact with David.
Would he be?
I don't know if he's the specific burn boss. I think that would be in the burn plan
Oh, okay.
when they actually develop that. But if you look at the back, it does describe some of the other locations that they have, and it says for their crew, they have more combined experience in participating in prescribed burns in a diversity of southern Michigan habitats, fluent in the use of all burn equipment. And the fact that they were specifically recommended by SISMA.
In burning the berm around the ball fields doesn't kill it, just,
The one thing that I'm hoping for is that it will take off that top layer of grass, you know, the real heavy stuff that weighs down.
you know?
Because we have done where we've gone seeding in the fall and cleared out space and then, you know, put the seeds down. And I don't, you know, I'm not a horticulturist by any means, and I don't know if with the summer or the winter, with that heavy grass laying down with the snow and that, whether that allows the seeds to actually, you know, germinate and come up through. I know Commissioner Hutchins had comments that he had made to me regarding the meadow in the back and some of the methods that they used for like overseeding rye, did you say?
Yes. Annual rye.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but, you know, we could definitely check with SISMA on what they would recommend as
Yeah.
far as like seeding, or that, if you think that that would be a good idea.
That whole wild life berm around the ball fields, to me, is a whole separate issue. You know, protecting this part, I get it. I mean, the history of that, it was originally discussed, we're gonna have an area and mark it as our restoration of, you know, we put some of the seeds from out here there, and then it turned into the whole surrounding of the ball fields. I don't wanna get into that, because that's a whole different discussion. But you made the comment that I thought it was messy. I do think it's messy. People come in and it's like, Jesus, don't you have a mowing program? I mean, we're identifying it, this is a natural area, was the original concept in my mind. But that's a whole different discussion. I don't want to waste time on that. But I would like more information if burning that stalls the project, puts it back 2 or 3 years, or enhances it.
I can check with them,
Okay?
get more information.
Okay, are there any other questions? Commissioner Wright?
I just had a thought, you know, we took all this time to get SISMA out here, and they spent all this money to, you know, figure out what we needed here. We've done it a few years now, right?
At least 2 that I know
At
of.
least 2 years we've done this. So apparently we believe that it's necessary, and it's all well and good, and it's great when we have a program that was able to come in here basically free of charge for us. But now that we have to pay for it, isn't it still worth it? Because it was worth it back then. Why, just because we have to pay for it now, why is there a question whether or not it's needed? Would be my question.
So I don't know if the manager wishes to address this, but I personally think that SISMA is a good company. I respect them, and I think they've done a good job. And I certainly concur that, yeah, we should continue. And I know that if they had the funds, you know, and funds were available, I'm pretty sure that we would be up on top of the list because we've been working with them to get this done. And so I know if, and this is, I know I say this because I've spoken with the staff, and definitely because of the good work that we've done as a commission to do this program. This is commissioners from the past, that you approve this. It seems to behoove us as Commissioner Wright says to continue. Now it's going to come from our coffers instead of theirs. That's something that we have to decide.
So, is that where we're at?
Yeah, well, I have a couple more questions, and then they're not going to be happy with me, but anyways. Any other questions from the commission before I ask questions? Okay. Commissioner Hutchins?
When we were sold on this plan from SISMA, they said someday we'd be responsible for maintenance. It's kind of like if you want to keep your car nice, you got to take it to the car wash once in a while. You don't get the free washes from the dealer after the warranty's over. So some of this we bought into the program. They said, if we do this, that, and such, you should be responsible for doing this, that, and such. So it's all part of maintenance, as we know around this place here. You just don't let it go down the tubes. So this was this is to maintain what we have and ensure what we have back there will be there in the future.
Yes,
So that's what the SISMA was about.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
And they said someday you're gonna have to pay for this yourself. And we said, well, thank you very much for doing what you did, you know? So that was part of it, is the maintenance of it. That's what we're coming into now. Hopefully SISMA gets reinstated, which I think they will be. But
I
like,
think they may be changing to a different acronym, but
yeah, same old stuff. But like Mary said, it will show a better light on us because we just didn't get in here for the short run. They said, hey, look at Holly Township is doing the maintenance. You know, it's like we just got this place painted. Well, if something happens, you have to wash it or repaint it and do spot stuff. It's all part of maintenance. So what they propose back there is our duty to maintain, with or without them.
Correct. Good point, Commissioner. I concur with you. Okay, so here are my questions. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, Madam Manager. I agree. I like this proposal. I think it's good. However, because of the cost, should we not get other bids for this, at least 2 more bids, to see if they can be competitive with this price, if we can get a better price? It doesn't mean, just means, you know, we did look out. Are there any other companies that do this? Or is this the only
I
company?
think there probably are. The only thing that I would question is the fact that they were specifically
And that's
recommended.
and that's fine. That's fine. And that would be something that I would take into consideration, that they were recommended by. But again, we are a governmental entity, and we need to be careful with our dollars. So I would ask.
I guess the other thing, though, that for me would be if you were to go and request more companies to bid on this, but this is the company we probably would choose, is that wasting their time?
It doesn't
And
matter. It's not for you or me to make that decision. We ask for bids. So it doesn't matter.
Okay?
I
With
guess
all
my
due respect.
concern with that is, I heard you say that spring is the time to do it.
Correct.
So I guess that's the other thing to consider, would be if spring is the time to do it, and then we're gonna do the RFP, and then consider those things. It's just,
We would just ask for a bid. I would not go out and do as much as an RFP. We would just simply, the manager could write something quickly and say, we're looking at these areas, give us your bid. I don't think we have to go that whole route. No. And the RFP is for, well, this is pretty big, but we're here already. And you're right, Commissioner.
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean.
You're right, you're right.
So is the.
We just don't have
Yeah,
the
it just
staff.
feels like that could be time, is this something that we're voting on as it is?
We
then?
could vote on that in the motion. That's why we didn't have the price at that time. And then I wasn't sure how the commission felt about this, and then plus the timing, because we have to do this in the spring. So now, this is a time when, if we do this, and we get the quotes, that the chair can call a special meeting to discuss, to make a vote on this once the manager gets additional bids.
Time sensitive.
It's a time-sensitive issue.
Not only is it time sensitive, because me and Mary know about the burns, it's also weather sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
They-
Yes.
It isn't just, we got 30 days to do this.
Oh, I
You
know.
take the weather in effect, we probably only end up with 4 days that they can burn because of the weather, the wind, everything else, the moisture. And it doesn't look like it's gonna be a dry spring.
Right.
So it's very, very sensitive.
It is, and so that's the time, like I said, I would have to call a special meeting, so you would come together to vote on this item so that we can proceed quickly, once you got those two other, or whatever bids, at least three. Or you can say, I asked for 3 and I only got 2, but at least we tried, okay? And we got the bids, and you can say that at the meeting. Or hopefully we'll get 2, or maybe 3, who knows? So that's it. Again, we've got to work on our purchasing policies a little bit more so on that, so that we can know when does the manager go out for more bids and things of that nature. The other thing that concerns me about this bid, what happens if anything goes wrong? Is there, and the fire goes, left instead of right, and we burn the whole thing down?
Well, I think for one thing, the insurance would certainly cover part of it.
Or would we call,
Let me explain though how they do a
I
burn.
know how the burn is done, I know. I'm
Okay.
just concerned about safety and what happens if it goes, like I said, north or south. And in some agreements, they do do make that statement, and who's liable, and depending, again, on many things. But insurance would cover it, obviously, and our insurance would as well. But I want to make sure that we know this up front, and then also, I would like, I know that there's a statement in here, let's see if I read it, that they would, burns are conducted in a safe, effective manner in full cooperation with the local fire department. So I want to make sure that the fire department is here. And I believe that's usually what happens when a burn is done. The fire department is aware, and they will, in some cities that I know of, they'll actually have the fire truck right then and there in case something goes wrong. Here, I'm not so sure, but at least they are on alert, and they'll be wary of this. And then plus, we notify the people that surround the area, let them know that this is happening, so they're not concerned.
But I think that's what they're gonna be doing.
Where is that stated?
Notifying all necessary parties prior to the burn.
Where is that? I'm sorry, man.
And it's like the fourth
underneath
bullet.
Creating burn breaks as needed.
In here someplace.
Okay.
And then above that, discussing the burn plan with the local
Local fire
fire
chief.
chief, obtaining
Okay.
everything.
Not obtaining the necessary burn permits from him, okay. Okay. And so, so we would be responsible for notifying the public. We would put a notice out there, on this day, park is closed, for whatever purposes, we don't want anybody to get hurt. We would notify the people that use, that use the park for whatever purpose, either to go on hiking or do disc golf or whatever.
We would just put a sign up in front and say, we will be burning on such and such a day, park will be closed.
Or we also
Close the gate.
close the gates.
Close the gate.
And close the
We
gates.
usually do, yeah.
Okay. All right.
The park is shut down, it's closed.
Okay.
Close the gates, lock it. We've done that
Probably
before.
let Mr.
It
Kernan
felt
know.
like, and you even had a sign up about when the last time you were doing the, I feel like the park was closed because they were doing
Yeah, they were doing
the burn pile or whatever, right?
the chipping.
The chipping,
The
Yeah.
chipping,
and it was closed at
Yeah,
that
we
was.
closed it,
Yeah.
That was dangerous.
very
Yeah.
dangerous.
So, I mean, there was just notification on the front.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for addressing those concerns. The only concern that I'm worried about is the bids. Do we, what does our policy say about going out to bid on items, Madam Manager?
I'm not sure.
I know, I've looked for that, I can't find it, I think we have to come up with one. So the only other thing would be that the commission could just vote on this. But we do need to work on our policies, we really do, and,
How time sensitive is this? I think that's the key.
okay.
Very.
So
Like
it
I
need-
say, you got time, and then you have weather.
I mean,
It's very time sensitive.
I heard spring's coming, but do we have time to go get more bids?
That's my question.
I don't know. I know they would like us to get on their schedule as soon as possible.
One thing is, this time of year, there's a lot of burning going on, even on farmland, controlled burns. So, what do? You know, you can go out for bids, and everybody says, oh, no, I'm booked up for the season. That's the biggest thing. Spring is
That
when
was
you do
actually
burns.
Keegan's biggest concern too,
Yeah,
was that, you know, their schedule might have already been full at
Yep.
the time that we reached.
that's the biggest thing, is it's just like anything else we want to do around here, paint the building, time sensitive, weather sensitive, yeah, and contractor sensitive. Everybody, there's less people out there doing stuff, so there's more demand
Right.
than there is supply. So there you are. There's a lot of the farmers are burning right now.
Okay.
As soon as it dries up from 2 or 3 inches of rain.
Let's go.
Okay, and then the last question I have, the last, so you all know, because I'm budget-wise, okay? Want to make sure that there's sufficient funds in our budget to be able to do this. And the line item that I see, which there are funds available, and that would be under 931. See, I still see 984, Commissioner. You see where I got the 984?
I'm sorry?
If you look at this, improvement part 2, it says 984. And you said it was 971.
971 is the part 2 equipment capital.
But look at this report, it says 984.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but this isn't what we're talking about.
No, I know, but I just want you to know, I'm gonna go back and look at that, okay? Because I knew I didn't see it I looked at this carefully several times, but, okay.
So this would come out in 984.
It will come out of 931, park repairs, where we have 28,000 in there right now in the budget.
Okay?
And that's what that's for, just so you all know,
Is that this park or all parks?
all parks. Both.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have a separate budget for the beach and for it. We talked
We
about
used to,
this.
yeah.
Yes, we used to. But so you know, that's the line item where the money's going to be taken from. And I just wanted to show to Commissioner Wright that I didn't make the number 984.
No,
Yeah.
I know you didn't make it
Yeah.
up. It just was incorrect and put on the agenda.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure.
Yep, I looked at it wrong. It's 971. I see, 984, okay.
So where are we? Are we going to take this to a vote, or are we going to
So
delay?
that was the question, that was the multi-million-dollar question, so we're gonna take this to the vote. However, if we make the motion, I know that the motion has already been on the table, but we need to clarify this motion respectfully a little more, and I'm gonna ask the makers of the motion to see if they wish to continue, okay? So, help me out here, everyone. So the motion is to approve the prescribed burn of remnant prairie area at the back of Sorensen Park and the prairie restoration by the ball fields, okay? And then I think we need to add, I know, we need to add, this motion needs to include that, based on the recommendation of the manager, we're going to concur with her recommendation and go with PlantWise, and this would be at a cost of $6,250 for Sorensen Park, and that's going to be 23.5 acre unit, and then there should be $225, 0.5 acre unit, I believe that's for the baseball field, and when burned on the same day. So if it's not burned on the same day, that cost may go up.
They're
You
gonna
don't
do
know
it the
that.
same
They're gonna
day.
do it the same day?
Yeah.
Okay. And,
So a total of $64.75.
$64.75, okay. Okay, and so either we're gonna go with the recommendation of the manager, or we can ask her to go out and get 2 more bids. And again, I would ask the manager in the future, please, get more bids. And we need to work on our purchasing policy. And if there isn't one, then we need to prepare one. So we're gonna look for this policy one more time and see if we can find it. And if not, then we will come back. I will ask the manager to come back to the board. I would, no, don't go there, Jane, we got too much to discuss. So for now, it is simply to go on the recommendation because of the urgency. We could add that as well, urgency of this matter. And because it is recommended by SISMA that we award this contract to PlantWise at a total cost of $6,475. Okay. Okay, so does anybody want to summarize that a little bit better, Commissioner? Commissioner Wright, you're good at this. This is your motion, sir?
I will amend my motion, a motion to approve based on the time-sensitive nature of the project, to approve the quote from PlantWise for the prescribed burn in the Remnant Prairie area back of Sorensen Park and the Prairie Restoration area by the ball fields for the amount of not to exceed $64.75.
And to come from account
And to come from budget
931.
account 931. So that's 208-208-931, park repairs.
Support.
Okay, so wait, unfortunately,
We have
to
to still
go-
processing the
for
motion.
supporter, do you, Mr. Hutchins?
Good deal.
Commissioner Hutchins, do you concur with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, because this is a financial matter, I am going to ask for a roll call vote. Madam Secretary?
Yes. Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Carl,
Aye.
Hutchins,
Yes.
DeSessa,
R.
and Earl, yes, that is passed.
All right.
Did you hear my pirate?
I
It was
did.
good.
That's a
Wasn't
good-
very good.
What was it, 931?
You sound like a pirate. Okay. All right, aye. So, for the public, yes, aye. It's no kidding matter. Thank you, Madam Manager. This is an important issue, but let's work on this a little more. Okay, next is, this is a discussion item under new business, and this is item number B. And this is to discuss the possible future staffing needs at the Nature Center and the Holly Township Beach. So I'm gonna turn this over to the manager so she can talk a little bit about why we're doing this, and we'll try to keep it brief. But basically, because of the changes that we're seeing in the grants and things of that nature, when we take a look at the budget this coming year, we're gonna have to take a look at staffing. And I'm gonna be quiet and see if the manager wishes to add anything else to that. Madam Manager.
Actually, the reason that I thought I would have this discussion is because I thought actually this would have been a much shorter meeting than it turned out to be. I don't
Not
know
8:30
if we
yet.
want to wait then on doing this next month, if you think that this is too long of a meeting, and considering Commissioner Carl's desire to have item C, if we want to table this until the following month. Basically, the reason that I was bringing this to you was because I am concerned about our staffing in light of the fact that come the end of June, we might be ending up having to pay for all of our staffing and not just Michigan, not just our beach staff. And that would be a significant increase in our salaries, I think. The other thing is that last year it was expressed by some of the commissioners, and I understand from comments that even the public was interested in extending the hours of the beach. So I think those are important issues to discuss. Timing-wise, it's been traditional that we use the school calendar, but I have heard it expressed that they would like to go holiday to holiday, and that would take a lot more time.
And money, and money.
The other thing is that, we have to consider the weather, because even up to the holiday of Memorial Day, that's the early one, right?
Yep.
And then, leading up to Labor Day, half the time our staff was sitting there in sweaters and that, and, very few people who actually came. So, I'm willing to table this until next month, and then, give you a chance to think about how you want to address it. But I think it is an important thing, and, maybe by the time next month rolls around, there may be more decision coming in regarding Michigan Works.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so is there a motion to table this matter to the next meeting?
I motion we table the meeting regarding staffing till the
Discuss this item.
April
The item.
meeting.
Support.
Okay, so table this item for next meeting. Motion by Commissioner Carl, supported by Commissioner Hutchins. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. And I have to be careful because that's really the role of the secretary, not mine, to make that. I apologize. It's your decision. Okay, your role. Okay, so now the last item here, almost close to the end, everyone, is the item C. Item C, 7 under new business, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is motion to join Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds with Holly Township Beach. Okay,
For the beach, correct.
yeah, with Holly Town, so it's for, not with, for?
Within.
It's
Okay,
within
He said
the-
within.
Okay, within.
We've never been part of it. There are
Okay, so-
numerous homes.
Hold on, okay, so, is there a motion to discuss this matter? So that we can talk about it? Do I hear a motion?
I motion.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Carl,
Support.
okay. Supported by Commissioner Hutchins. Okay, now discuss.
Okay, Aquaweed is a local company. They've been treating several lakes around southeast Michigan, including Bush Lake. They treat and offer to treat, technical names there, but let's just say they are invasive weeds, algae, as well as spot treat lily pads. Now, we all know what a lily pad is. It's the ones that are growing on both left and right corners where the first set of ropes is, all right?
They're natural plants.
Correct. All right? One of these, the algae control, does require a 24-hour closure of the beach. We had to close because the neighbors' lot that adjoins our, was at the north side border of the beach, is treated. So we got notice and we had to close the beach temporarily. The cost for 3 treatments in the summer is $600. And the first treatment would be mid-April, mid-May, and then the next one is sometime like mid-August. And they just come out in a little boat and they spray, and I watched them do it last summer, and they, along Hollybush Shores, the majority of those homes participate, and then they go across the lake to Riviera Shores, and they do those as well. So many of the homes are being treated. I think one of the issues that we received was the leaches. It doesn't control leaches. However, I think leaches are accustomed to the muck and the mud that is continuing to expand within the beach. But this is where the lily pads too are growing within that muck too. Muck is a whole different issue that I hope we can discuss next year. But you know, for the process of trying to control and eliminate and clean the beach area, I strongly recommend that we get on board with this for the incredibly low price of $600 to abate and control the weed control at our beach.
Okay, I have a lot of questions, but again, I will reach out to the commission first. Commissioners? Commissioner?
Is the village treating their property on the other side of the creek?
I can ask, but I don't have the
It's
answer.
pretty weedy over there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's not a swim hole. I mean, ours is a beach. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't.
Any other questions? Commissioner Wright?
Yeah, you mentioned the cost was $600 for 3 treatments, correct?
Correct.
Is there a cost of joining the HOA?
No.
Would we
And-
want to do that?
I'm sorry?
We wouldn't want to join the HOA.
Oh, I thought that's what we had to do.
No.
Oh,
No.
join with them.
With them on this tree. It's not the HOA that we join. Correct.
Being a governmental entity, is there any additional licensing or permitting issues from Eagle that we have to worry about?
There is, that's taken care of by Aquaweed in advance. And everything is done according to Eagle recommendations too.
The land.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some big questions, and you're not
Go.
gonna like my questions.
Go.
Okay. I appreciate what you're doing, sir, and I know you care much about the beach, but with all due respect, I wish you had gone through with the manager. The manager is responsible for operations, and this is an operational issue, not a legislative. We've talked many times about keeping us separate. I really wish you had spoken with the manager first
Noted.
and let her. So in the future, all of us, we should all address any operational issues with the manager.
Noted.
Thank
Next
you.
question, please.
Thank you, sir. Are there any chemical concerns, environmental concerns by doing this?
The only one, it's the copper, the cuprous element that they use does require a 24-hour closure of the beach. The rest of them are
What would this do?
non-harmful.
What would this copper thing do? What does this do? What is the concern? Is it an environmental issue? What is the issue? Is it going to poison anybody or?
No. No,
Is it gonna
like
hurt?
any pesticide, everything is done within regulation. It is not harmful. It's when you overdose. It's like a drug. And they certainly don't overdose. Yes. You want to?
Commissioner Hutchins?
I know people that use aquaweed, and the reason why they close stuff down, they also state on there, don't water your lawn, because the chemical they're using is an aquatic herbicide. So it'll kill your lawn. So that's why they close everything down. You don't get it on you. And the biggest thing is you don't put it on your lawn because it'll kill your lawn.
Correct.
So that's what the chemical is. It's an aquatic herbicide. Not as bad as Roundup.
Right.
Oh, not as bad as Roundup. Oh, goodness.
And it's regulated by the state of Michigan.
Yes.
Madam Manager, what are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I haven't gone in the water, so I can't speak to how bad the weeds are or anything. Personally, lily pads don't bother me. I mean, I know, we have a fairly good open space there. But I know that other areas are treating, so, I don't know.
So I guess the only, Commissioner, maybe you can help me address this. So if we don't, let's say we don't do this, okay? Let's just say we don't, or whatever reason. But will whatever, because we're right around the corner, so will any of that stuff come into our side as well?
I'm sure some will. We don't have a firm barrier that would stop a
Right.
chemical. But
So we would have to close no matter what, when they start doing this?
correct,
have
we
to
do.
Close.
They do. We would be given notice when they're using the copper-based herbicide, and we did close the beach last year.
So keeping in mind with our mission statement that we are to protect the environment, I have some concerns. All right? I have some concerns. I would ask that we review this a little more. Is there a tight deadline on this? Can I ask the manager to look at this a little closer?
Sure.
I would just like for us to take a look at this for environmental purposes, because that's part of our mission statement, to protect the environment, and we are a nature center.
Moreover, however, we offer recreational services, and if we're gonna let the beach be infested with invasive weeds, what's the point in having a beach?
No, I understand,
Yeah.
but I want to be careful.
But
with
if
the kind of-
everything's done within Eagle standards, I think we have to accept that.
Well, I would like, with all due respect, sir, I would like our manager to look at this a little closer. And I respect you and I appreciate the work that you've done, but I ask that you work I would ask that you work with the manager a little closer, because I am concerned about environmental issues. That's my only concern. Well, besides not going out to bid, not going out to bid,
The
yes.
alternative to chemically treating is chopping weeds with a harvester. And as you know, they do that in Fenton. They used to do it in the mill pond
Oh.
in Holly. And what it does is it promotes more weed growth.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of like,
oh, never mind.
you cut your lawn, it makes the roots bigger, goes to the roots, makes more taller grass. Does the same thing with weeds. So the alternative is chopping.
Chopping them more frequently, like more of a maintenance chopping, is that what it would be?
Well, usually Fenton, because the river's so bad, the mill pond's so bad, they chop almost all summer. And they take out tons of weeds. Then which is bad because you talk about environmental hazards. Most mill ponds are nasty. They take those weeds and they dump them on farmland. So let's grow it into our crops and stuff. All the mercury, the lead, everything else that's not environmentally friendly.
I would like for us to do a little bit more research on this. I mean, I think, I concur, I don't want the invasive species. I know that we work hard here at this park, at Sorensen Park, to try our best to eliminate them. I've gone out there and cut the weeds myself. So, my recommendation would be to, table this matter until the next meeting, ask the manager, unless there's a
The
urgency.
only thing is to Commissioner Carl's point, that first treatment is generally mid-April, and if you don't book with them, you might miss that thing. Is there a possibility that you could make the vote, and then I could report back to the
Gotcha.
commissioners? And then, in between,
That's a good
and
point.
then you could,
I would be willing
move
to
forward
consider
with
that,
that.
yes, yes. I would be willing to do that. This way, it'll meet your time, sir, and we can get a chance to take a look at the environmental concern that we have. Okay. So, the motion here was made by Commissioner Carl and supported by Commissioner Hutchins. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, I'm looking at another one. It was by Carl and Hutchins, okay, I had it right. So would you be willing to table this, or amend the motion, because that's what the manager recommended? So, and how would you like that worded, Madam Manager?
I think the only thing that I would recommend is to amend it to state that we will come back with more information And if the commissioners decide at that point they choose not to, then they can eliminate it. But I think in more so, it would probably be based on the fact that they're already treating throughout that whole area. I'm assuming that other residents are not as concerned with the chemicals that are being used, that they consider them safe.
Okay.
So, but.
So I know the issue that you were trying to address was the timing issue. And so, we're looking at mid-April, sir, is that correct?
Yes.
And when is our meeting? In April? It's be early April, so that we could postpone till that meeting? The manager could get some more information?
April's would be April 8th.
Would that meet your,
I don't have that answer.
But the other thing is if you hold off there, would they be able to get it on their schedule?
Yeah, well, and what particular what are you gonna seek in answers? What are we delaying for? Or was it your
so
concern?
my concern is the environment, okay? That's
One response
the-
to that, when we talk about conservation, the emergence of weeds actually chokes oxygen.
I understand.
And that kills fish. And, you know, so controlling that nurtures, you know, not only our beach, makes it a better swim
I
beach,
understand.
but it also enables fish and water life to flourish.
And I just want to make sure that we at least take a look, a review, consider this, make sure that we are as safe as we can be, because we, as Commissioner Hutchins has said, you know, we use chemicals for a lot of things, and apparently this aqua weed or whatever is approved, and others use it. It doesn't mean, it's like that old saying, if I asked you to jump on the, you know, cliff, would you jump through if everybody's doing it, just because everybody's doing it? I would just like a little bit more, and I would strongly urge the commission to consider this one precaution, just to look at this matter issue, and in the future, please everyone, work with the manager. This is an operational issue, and perhaps that could have been addressed. This is nothing to say. I appreciate you coming to us on this, and this was an amended item added to the agenda, and again, let's try to get these items to the manager so that she can address them quickly. So, and we can avoid some of this. So, would the maker of the motion be willing, because we still have to amend the motion, even if the way it's written here, we didn't go out to bid. We're going to go with, you recommended that we go with this, with the homeowners, Bush Lake Homeowners Association. Now, you said motion to join Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds within Holly Township Beach. Now, clarification purposes, we are not going to join the homeowners association. We are not. So all we're doing is we are working with them with this item at a cost not to exceed $600, and this is to contract with whomever they choose. Is that correct?
Whomever they choose? Who?
Who are they going to choose to do the treatment?
They do it, aquaweed.
Aquaweed. Okay, so we would choose aquaweed. Okay,
Yeah.
we would concur with that aquaweed. Okay, so all I'm saying is to postpone the April 8th meeting, give the manager a little bit more time to look at the concern that I have regarding the use of these chemicals into our system. That's all I'm asking. But again, I'm just one vote. My suggestion, I'm asking the makers of the motion to table this matter. Commissioner Wright, I see you want to say something?
I understand that there's might be environmental questions. However, as Commissioner Carl said, we provide recreation for the citizens of Holly Township. Part of that is the beach. The condition treatment of the water of the beach has to be a point of, we have to consider that as well, because otherwise, we're not gonna have any citizens use the beach.
And I understand that, but it has to be safe, okay? And we should not introduce any kind of chemical in there that we have not looked at carefully.
I understand that, however, it's already been regulated by the state of Michigan by Eagle.
It has.
Aquaweed has permits from, state of Michigan, as long as all that is correct, and I don't see why it wouldn't be. It's as safe as it's gonna be.
Well,
I can read a paragraph on the environmental fate. It
Sure,
might
go ahead.
Satisfy. Many questions are asked about what happens after a pesticide is used in a lake or pond. Generally, pesticides break down rapidly in the environment, usually within a few days. Depending on the products used, a combination of sunlight, water chemistry, microbial action, and plant uptake break the pesticide down into natural components. Some pesticide ingredients eventually bind with sediments and are no longer available as an herbicide.
okay.
You know,
Yes.
we were sitting here discussing the environment, and it's approved by the state.
It is.
The other thing is, if you want to talk about the environment, what about that funny foam we have out there?
Yeah.
We're gonna be shutting the beach down for that, and that we know is environmental hazard.
And I know that, Commissioner, and I recognize that. I am not familiar with this, and I'm just asking for some review by the manager. And I don't think waiting until April the 8th is undoable. I think it is. It's just to, again, I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true. I would like the manager to review it a little further and come back and then make a vote. That's all I'm
So-
saying.
Would it be possible,
There, not yet. We're
would it be
still in discussion.
possible to make the motion to allow Commissioner Carl to make or myself, to make the agreement with them to at least get into their schedule?
It would
And then
have to go
if-
through you, Madam Manager. You would be the one responsible
That'd be
for the
fine.
operations.
But at least to get onto their schedule so that they could follow that monthly process or the 3 treatment process. Because if you wait until April 8th to approve it, the likelihood of you being able to get into their schedule by mid-April
Okay.
is not necessarily going to happen.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, so then, and I appreciate that. I appreciate, Commissioner Hutchins, I understand your concern, okay? And I know you're concerned about time, but we're trying to make some strong decisions here, important decisions.
Yeah.
And please, I'm trying to go as quickly as I can. All right. So the motion is as is right now. The only thing we could do is if we do what you suggest, Madam Manager, I think we can just wait till, we can go ahead and consider this motion as is and take a vote. And because there's money involved, we have to go around and then we can still come back in April anyways, and you can look at this matter further and report to us at that point in time. Okay? But I would ask that this go through you as operations, and also that you meet with these individuals to set this up. Is there no concern about that, correct? With anybody, operation-wise, with the commission? Okay. Commissioner Hutchins? No? Okay. All right, Commissioner, you okay with that?
So we're gonna,
Yeah, I'm not clear what we're doing.
I don't either, so are we then just gonna vote as is?
We're gonna vote as is.
Okay.
Yep, we're gonna vote as is. We're not going
Okay.
to table, we're not going to do anything. We're just gonna vote as is, and then I will, well, let's just vote as is.
Okay.
Please, let's vote.
So please, roll call vote, Madam.
So just to clarify, the motion is to join Bush Lake homeowners,
Oh, excuse me,
join with, thank you,
Join with.
thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
join with, we're not going to join
I'm
them.
not gonna join that.
Exactly.
That's
Join
what
with.
I said.
That's more my question.
Yep, that was
Yep.
mine too.
Okay, so motion is to join with Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds within Holly Township beach.
Yes.
Beach.
And that motion was made by Commissioner,
To not exceed, are we doing that part, the money
Oh,
part? To
that's
not
right, yes.
And using
Weed,
aqua weed,
not to exceed $600.
okay. Okay, I got it now.
and hire Aquaweed.
Okay.
And again, this is
And
coming,
it also covers a 3-time application.
And that's
Or-
gonna be in the motion?
Yes, that's.
so then you'll have to
with the
amend,
prices.
you'll have to amend your motion.
Okay, so okay. So motion to join join with Bush Lake Homeowners Association for treatment of invasive weeds using aqua weed for 3 treatments not to exceed $600.
Beautiful.
Gotcha.
Is that right, Mr. Chairman? Or
That's
Chair-
correct.
And this is coming from account 931.
Treatments 931, got it. And do I put the 931 in the motion?
Please,
Okay.
account 931, please. Okay, so the motion has been amended. Commissioner
I accept.
Carl, Commissioner Hutchins?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
I hope
Hearing
not.
none. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Wright,
Aye.
Carl,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes,
DeSessa,
No.
Earl, yes. Motion has passed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Motion is passed. And the only reason I voted no was because I'd like some more information from the manager regarding the environment. Okay? And in the future, please, commissioners, anything that deals with operations, talk to the manager. This is an addition.
So then, how would you like me to address the, the findings that I get from the chemical company?
Thank you, good question. I would ask that you please present a report to us during your report time period, and you tell us your findings, please. But I ask that you work with Commissioner Carl to get this done together, with the homeowners association.
Would it be more?
Commissioner Hutchins, please.
Would it be more time sensitive, though, to report back by email?
Yes, that would be
During
great.
the month?
If you can, yeah, that would be great. That would be better. Yeah, I would
And
appreciate
then
that.
you can have it resolved before
Before, yes.
April.
Yes, that would be
April.
excellent, excellent. Yes, thank you, Madam Manager.
Manager Blanchard, I think you'll find many of those answers in this document,
Excellent.
which I didn't care to read
Okay.
the whole thing.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we've discussed those items. Next is item number 8, reports, staff reports.
Thank you.
Madam Manager. Keep it brief. It's going to be 9 o'clock.
So when I was making mine, again, I didn't realize this meeting was going to be so long. So upcoming events, March 25th, Cole Fisher with U.S. Fish and Wildlife will be doing a presentation on careers. He will be speaking on his own experiences and that of his coworkers. This program is geared to students, but all are welcome. April 7th, Cole Fisher will be coming back to do a presentation geared to second and third graders on pollinators, and we will start advertising this soon. Tom Martin had his last day with Michigan Works yesterday. It was a bittersweet day for him. Here at Sorensen Park, he has been here 4 years, and he said it went by fast, and it's a great job. We expect he will be ready to be back as a paid employee of Holly Township Parks until end of June. I had sent an email to the 4 townships we had discussed regarding the Park Collaborative. I had a reply from Supervisor Kevin Scramlin from Groveland, and he said he would be interested in participating if something could be set up. He also shared that Groveland Township sends $285,000 for their tax to Oakland County Parks each year. So between Holly Township and Village, sending $326,000 and Groveland sending $285,000, that's a total of $611,000 from those 3 townships.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. I had intended to go to the Oakland County Parks meeting last week, but it was actually changed to today. I hope to go next month. I did attend an all-day conference on Saturday called Spark and Share with MSU Extension and 4-H. It was a great presentation, and I would like to thank MSU Extension for the grant that they gave me to cover my expense of $75. This was a day with a couple of large group presentations, but a majority of the day was spent in smaller breakout sessions with a mix of adults and students. And I was so impressed with the level of maturity and confidence that the students had. A longtime 4-H leader shared with me that most of the students grow up within 4-H, and as they get older, they take on more leadership roles if they choose. The breakout sessions were a mix of education and hands-on experiences. One of the things that we had made were these seed balls that were actually made with construction paper and water. And the seeds are sprinkled inside the seed balls, and then we will go ahead and dispense it. But this will be a great project. It was very easy, very quick, and I can speak from experience that this is much easier than doing the mud balls that are generally used. During this month, we had a problem with the smoke smell in the Sorensen Nature Center recently. Commissioner Hutchins came out and checked our furnaces and our bathroom fans and discovered the fans were badly clogged with dust, and that one of the filters for the furnace was also needed to be changed. So in the course of that, we discovered that the filter is an odd size filter, and Curtains was not able to supply that filter. They did suggest that I go to Michigan Filter and Fleet in Waterford, and Commissioner Hutchins had some suggestions as to the type of materials used for that filter, so that instead of continually replacing the filter, that we can spend a one-time fee of $69.77, give or take tax, I'm not sure. But there is a filter called Thrift Air Filter made out of all metals and not any of the fiber type stuff. And so that will not have to be replaced on a regular basis. It can just be cleaned. So we appreciate Commissioner Hutchins for pointing that out. And I did order one filter, which should be coming in another 2 weeks or so. So we'll get that taken care of. Commissioner Hutchins, Mel and Zach and I met with DPW Director Danny Rasberg this week and discussed the area of the wood pile and the other accumulated brush. And we have a better idea, I think now, of their plans, and that he did state that he thinks that in the future, he realizes that we possibly would be asking them to leave entirely based on comments and that, but at this point, he's gonna do as much as he can to keep that area. Once the company that is currently working on the village tree trimming, once they finish, I think it's gonna be this week that they're gonna be done. And then he's going to have the village equipment come in and take and pile and move the other areas so that the compost area that the residents have been very concerned about is going to be free access. And then Commissioner Hutchins also said that he will work on starting to do some loading of chips if residents want it. I think we can start advertising at this point that residents are free to come and get chips if they would like, but that the loading would have to be scheduled as far as that. Okay. The other thing I did talk to Danny about were the toy equipment that had been in question regarding whether the village wanted to use them, and our other older spring toys. The village has opted not to use them because Danny could not find any regulations as to the type of toy that we had specific. That he felt when he was looking at the regulations that it had to be a specific, they had very strict
They do.
line items as to the type of materials. So he could not verify that those would be in that particular product, so they're withdrawing their use of that.
Okay.
So at this point, we have the option of going out to a company called Municibid, which we would be able to direct them to take our items and sell them, and then, issue us directly a check. But I guess that's up to the commission as to whether you choose to do that. It is a question about the older equipment. We have seen the posts where, you could get money for them. My concern is that how would we deliver those? If shipping would wipe out whatever cost we would end up, making on that, I think. I don't know what the process is. I don't do eBay or any of that kind of stuff, but that would be my biggest concern, would be shipping, or have them come and pick it up at a mutual time or whatever. I'm not sure.
What is that item made of? Is it just metal? Does anybody know?
There's 4 of them, I
The old
believe.
style is aluminum, I don't know,
Cast
the new ones are
aluminum.
plastic. And also, when you sell on eBay or any place, the buyer pays shipping.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. I don't know, but
eBay.
They're quite heavy, the aluminum ones are.
Very heavy.
they're very heavy,
Yeah.
except for,
Otherwise, they-
except for the plastic one.
Yeah,
But even that one, I don't know.
well, I think we have 8 pieces to sell. There's 6 of the old and 2 of the new.
Oh, I didn't realize there were 6. I thought there were 4 of the old, but,
It might be 6 total or 8 total.
yeah,
They're all piled up down there.
right.
Yeah, no, the reason I was asking is if it's metal, maybe we could just sell the metal,
Another thing, and I'll try to be brief, I asked Mel, our maintenance person, about his concerns, or, anything he wanted me to bring up. One of his biggest concerns are the pontoons at the beach. He feels that they're continuing to deteriorate, and they are getting sharp edges now, where they're splitting at the seams. And so, whether we want to try and sell them, whether we want to try and scrap them, whether we, do something, but, for the sake of the aesthetics and the safety, you should probably decide to actually do something with them, either this month or next month. The driveway, Mel said that he thought that he would be comfortable using the tractor with Commissioner Hutchins' direction, and that he is willing to do some of the work that the village is currently doing as far as smoothing, particularly out by the edge of the road.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah. The play structure up by the ball fields, I was looking at that the other day, and we have to do something at the base of that. Right now, there is just grass, but there's also deep ruts right near there, and I think that could be a tremendous hazard for children stepping into it and tripping or whatever. So I understand that the soft type wood chips are extremely expensive. However, I would not be opposed, based on the fact that we have a tremendous amount of wood chips, if we could dig out around that area and remove the dirt and use the wood chips we have and go with that, just for extra safety. I don't know that any,
Can you check with the park with the DPW director? 'Cause I know there are some regulations in
Yes,
today's
but
world.
he specifically said as well, the soft type chips.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be our problem,
Well,
Madam Manager.
I also believe, I don't believe that the village is even using soft chips.
They're just using regular chips?
I believe they are.
Oh, my. Okay. All right. Okay.
So, you know, you can decide among yourselves,
So,
even
okay,
bring it back at a different time.
So can you bring these items back
that.
to us at the next meeting then? So
I
that we
can.
can make a decision on that?
Okay?
Is everybody okay with that? Please bring it at our next meeting?
Yep.
Okay, all done?
I think that's my report.
All right, very good. All right, I'm going to go around this way this time. Commissioner Wright?
Just a brief update on the Little League. Registration has closed. Numbers are down due to a few reasons, travel ball being one of them. But we're going to get our season started. Our first practices should be getting going here beginning of next month in April, with games starting. I think it's the second week of April, I believe. I'll get a whole schedule planned for the commission once we get it from Quad Town.
Can you bring that for the next
Yes,
meeting, sir? Because we need to
absolutely, I
approve
will.
it. Okay.
Let's see, last meeting I was asked to come up with a rental agreement and policy and procedures for, renting the pavilions and such. I've done so. You want to pass those down for me? This is just a draft. This is not just for y'all to look at and, come back to me with any
Oh, wait.
suggestions, corrections.
They're sets.
We're just passing the
They're
sets
sets.
Okay.
down.
Sorry. There we go. Keep push to,
Good, keep passing.
keep passing. There we go.
This is a complete.
One more
here, I
set.
think.
Thank you. One more second.
Other than that, I don't have anything further.
Do you want us to read this and talk next
Just,
time,
yeah,
or?
at your convenience.
Yeah, okay.
Can we add this to the agenda for our next meeting? It's gonna be long.
Sure.
So we meet once a month. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Wright. This is very good. I appreciate the draft policy, and then he actually prepared a form as well for the staff to utilize. Excellent. So let's take a look at this and consider it for our next meeting. Okay. Can you add this to the agenda, Madam Manager, please?
Mhm.
Anything else? Very good. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Hutchins?
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Commissioner Carl?
I do. Last meeting, we talked about a poster or something for our mission statement. I said I would look into costs. A 4 feet long by 2.5 feet deep poster,
Or sign, you mean?
sign, printed similar to the stock that the beach signs are printed, would cost no more than $350. And that's with Calypso, the Holly-based sign company. Okay? We probably, as a consideration, we talked about a logo change. It'd be nice to have a logo on our mission statement, so maybe we want to
To look at the logo.
start working on a logo, and then we can finalize our signage.
Okay.
Asked to develop phase 2. We found out that due to Little League, it's compressed that we can't get it done now. Little League, in January, I asked Commissioner Wright, I got April 16. I think that's when their first game is. Now we learned that they have practice the first week in April. There's not enough time to perform that excavation. I understand their Little League spring session ends June 19th.
That sounds right.
The next fall session starts August 17th. That's a window of 48 days. That's the perfect time to initiate phase 2. in that 48 days, actually, I assume that, like, your spring ball, fall ball's gonna have some practice too.
Yeah.
So I kind of interpolated, we got 48 days. That's plenty of time to get this done. The RFP is a rough. After I wrote it and walked and looked, there's more to it that we need to discuss, and I'm gonna meet with Commissioner Hutchins and get his input, feedback, and then we can finalize that. And we only have two Holly companies, Bruce Lau and Greg Prose.
Well, they don't have to be from Holly, sir. Okay, we would prefer, but again, our policies doesn't indicate that, anything about Holly businesses,
We don't have a policy for purchasing, I heard.
apparently.
So I'll seek. I couldn't find any suitable. The next one is like Lake Orion. There's one in Fenton and possibly one in Grand Blanc.
So we're just gonna get 3, is that the
I'd
idea?
Well,
like
the three,
to-
three, at least three.
There's two locals.
Mhm.
Yeah,
At least
seems right.
three.
Yeah.
But I mean, we get more, that's fine, but
Okay.
at least three. Again, I ask that you work with the manager, operations, work with her, please.
I've already given her the draft of the RFP.
Okay, well, whatever.
And you asked that I work with
Yes,
Commissioner
with-
Hutchins.
yeah, to come up with the plan,
So
yes.
once we
But
finalize
work-
that, I think
Mhm.
that's the proper time to turn
Perfect.
it over.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lastly, I look back at our last meeting in regarding that contentious vote, and at times the tone of that meeting was not very civil. I was asked to go down to the township office and explain my no vote. I didn't appreciate that.
What are you talking about, sir? Are you talking about
The legal vote.
legal vote? Okay,
And,
legal services.
I took an oath to dutifully give my duties, faithfully. And I shouldn't be, no one on this board should be held, to answer our vote. It was not right and not fair. I think we should be able to cast our vote according to what information we have and share it at that moment, and without judgment, without criticism, and certainly without interference. And I believe that, and I hope it never happens again. But I think I want to let everybody know that I don't know about anyone else, but I was called down to explain my vote, and I think that's wrong.
I was as well.
You were called down as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't called down, I was left out.
Okay. Anyway,
I wasn't called either, Joe, so,
Neither was I.
I wasn't called either.
it was only the no votes, which
Well,
makes it even
doesn't look
worse.
like it was only, because Joe didn't get a call, but
Well,
I-
anyway, I hope it doesn't happen again.
Well, you know what, let me correct myself. I did receive a call, and I did not call him back right away, but I did receive a call, and I expressed that this is up to the commission. And I'm hoping that we can revisit this matter, because you know how I feel about review. And it's not just about contracts when it comes to legal services, it's more than just that. But that is what I expressed concern, and that's it. But as far as being called or whatever, we will always be called, no matter what we do.
We don't report to the township.
I
They approve
understand.
our budget.
Yeah. No,
So I don't
understand.
think the business that goes on here necessarily has to be
No,
relayed there.
but we do report to the residents of this community. So if they ask us a question, they can.
Absolutely, I agree
All
with
right,
that.
just want to clarify that.
But
Yeah,
I was appalled.
I understand. Okay. I appreciate your comments, sir. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Earl?
It's 9:15, so I think I'm just gonna really just pass today. I will say that the last meeting was contentious. There was a lot of what I would just consider bad behavior. And it certainly wasn't fair to several of the people, if not all of the rest of the people on the commission who sat through it. I hope we can get back to working together, calling each other, communicating. Commissioner Wright and I spoke and met on Sunday to discuss the web design. And we have, I don't know if the email's completed, but we have an email to reach out to the past Civic Rec, and we'll be getting back together because that was a concern at the last meeting. We're hoping to get that done and also address the part-time position as content creator. But it really felt good to come in, have a conversation, get something agreed upon, deal with it, decide what our next plan is gonna be without any
Interference.
hostility. So I hope we can continue doing that. We're a small commission. We're all in the fight for the good thing, the good of the community.
Yes,
And I hope we all continue to remember that that's what we're here for.
correct.
We
Correct.
certainly are wanting to make sure that, everything is done correctly, but I hope we can be civil at the very minimum
Yes.
and get things done that way. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Can I have one more comment?
Okay, yes.
Commissioner Hutchins has asked or stated to me that he feels that having all the extra copies at the meeting when I have already sent them to members is unnecessary, or that. So I'm just questioning, do commissioners appreciate having the copies here, or would you prefer not?
So respectfully, so Commissioner Hutchins, just so you know, when we get those materials, they're sent to us electronically. They're not paper-wise. So the only time that you will see these papers are here. I can review them electronically. I can review them obviously here, but it's very difficult to review them here, and it's very difficult to, I don't have a laptop that I can use here. In other communities, you do. So it helps for me to have them done, but they're only printed once, not twice. I think yours are the only ones that are copied. And maybe when she gives you the information, you can bring those, and so you don't have to get extra set.
Okay, my statement is, this here, I picked up my agenda Thursday. That's all I received. It was my agenda. Then I received all of this tonight, and some of this is, I didn't get to see. That's why I voted no on the minutes, because I had no copy of the minutes and other things here. So this is all I got to have tonight. I picked it up Thursday, as I was instructed to do. I'm supposed to be responsible for picking up my own agenda. So I was in here Thursday and picked up my agenda. And I don't have quite the information that we had for us tonight. That's why I voted no on the minutes, because I didn't have that and some of the other stuff, so.
Was sometimes, again, and I appreciate what you're saying, sir, I do, but, because we didn't get a lot of the stuff either in the information that was sent to us. But again, our staff does their best to get this information to us, sir. And sometimes, like for example, the information regarding the bid from that company, I can't think of their name right now, that, we just got that tonight, sir. And we had to report on that, on plant, yes, that one, plant-wise. So we're gonna do our best to limit the number of paperwork, and I understand, I agree with you, sir, but I still think that, at least for now, it helps me, because many times I'm not I don't have the time to print this stuff myself, and so I do appreciate the manager doing this, but I would ask her to please, when you get this information over to us as quickly as possible, so that when Commissioner Hutchins picks up his package, it's as complete as it can be.
Yeah, I got the meeting minutes into the commission after. So it was a late submission, and that's why you didn't. So that's my apologies.
But still, you know, that's part of our rules and regulations, but I still didn't get some of the other information that we had here. And also, me not being, having a computer or a cell phone or any electronic thing, now I'm held to be responsible for picking up my own agenda,
Right.
which is, I'm not justly treated. Everybody gets the same thing. If I have to pick up my agenda, everybody else has to pick up their agenda. I just want to be treated the same.
Or we could do it the opposite way, where everyone has an email address, and so you could get an email address. I feel like you have an email address here at the parks. Is that right, Commissioner Wright?
One was assigned, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could always use that one, and you could do it the same way. I mean, she can add
But
Commissioner
I was directed to
Hitchens.
pick up my agenda Thursday.
Well, actually,
Oh.
it was only that way because she was delivering it to you. So you can still get it
She's
via
still
email.
doing that, aren't you not, Madam Manager, aren't you delivering the paperwork to him?
I deliver some of the paperwork, but I will say that I go by his house almost every day.
Okay. And that's why
It's not a problem for me to deliver it.
And that's fine.
But I
like I said,
understand,
last meeting.
Commissioner Earl's comment as well,
Mm.
that, yes.
I think getting the minutes is key too, to shortening our meeting. I don't feel good just reviewing the minutes and having to approve them. I had an opportunity to review the minutes before this meeting. I was ready to approve
Yeah,
them today,
we
but
got
In the past, we had one commissioner that had a bad computer. So for 2 years, I hand-delivered his agenda on Thursday at his house.
well,
I didn't treat anybody else different. If anybody else wanted it, I'd hand out the agendas.
Okay.
I don't have a computer. I'm not gonna have a computer.
You don't need to, though. There's computers here. You have computer access
Yeah.
here, and you know what? There's computer access at the library.
Yeah,
So you don't really have to have a computer.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I say, I was directed to pick up my agenda on Thursday, and that's all I got.
Okay.
Okay, we will do our best to get this information quicker to you, sir. Get it to you quickly. Okay, so moving right along, I know we're getting late. Thank you, Commissioner Earl, for your comments, and same thing for you, Commissioner. It's important, I agree with you, sir, so thank you for your comments. I have a lot of stuff I was going to report, but I'm not, because I'm looking at the time here, but I do want to report this, because this is so critical, because I want to make sure. This is what I like about this board. We are hardworking people, we are hands-on people, and we want to do our best for our community. But please know that a few of us were appointed. And so it's time for us to pick up our package so that we can, if you decide you want to run for the next 2 years, there's 4 of us here that need to pick up this package. So please, Commissioner Carl, this is a big, big package. If you want to do it, it gives all the information about what you have to do, how you have to sign up, and all that good stuff. You can pick this up at the Holly Township Clerk's office, and she's got the packets ready, so please, please pick up your packets. Commissioner Hutchins, you don't need to do this. You are already set for 4 years. It's only up to the 4 of us. And others, there may be others as well who may wish to run again, so, and that's fine, okay? So please pick up your packets, and good luck to everybody, and I'm willing to sign everybody's petition if you want to run again. So please, it's an honor to work with you all. It's an honor, and it's an honor to work with our staff as well. They're tremendous. Madam Manager, I don't know what we would do without you. You're doing excellent work, so thank you all. And I think we'll get better, and as Commissioner Earl said, we will have some disagreements, but we will always come together, because we're a good team, and I strongly believe that. So thank you, Commissioners. And with that, no other comments, I will adjourn this meeting at